What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Yesterday, I was down at the courthouse for LA Reid, as many of y'all know. And I went live down there and I sat down there for about 2 hours and nobody knew what was going on. There was barely even any press down there because unless you was in the loop, a lot of people didn't even know. And so I got a reach that said, yo, listen, might want. I said, oh, okay, bet. So I was down there. I went live, and I sat down there for about close to 2.5 hours or whatever. And if you wasn't here with me yesterday, the live is still up. You can go look at it. It's my last live I did. And I thought to myself, just stay with me. I thought to myself, what's going on? Because you're supposed to start trial today. And he was at the federal courthouse where Puff was at. And they had everybody, ready to go. And lo and behold, for about 2 hours, Miss Dixon and her lawyers were sitting down in the cafeteria contemplating whether or not they was going to take a settlement from L.A. Reid. Please stay with me. There's a bigger conversation here to be had that, like it or not, we got to start having. And because see, if I don't have this conversation, then I look like a sucker. You see what I mean? And so I wanted to verify this. So I sat down yesterday with somebody that many of y'all know in the music industry. I'm not going to say his name, but I got to sit with them yesterday right after that. And I had a conversation with them. And they said, yeah, it, now there's different ways you could take this. That girl sat down there for 2.5 hours to make sure that she would get a financial payout. And when her lawyer told her, yeah, there's a financial payment coming through, then everything gets settled, everything is quiet and numb at that. Okay. So you told the world that outside of your advocacy, the money was more important for you. I keep trying to tell y'all that. You'll notice the same thing happened with Cassie. The money was more important than the advocacy. Please pay attention to that. The money is the modus operandi in the whole story. Whether or not L.A. Reid did something or not, that's to be said. But what I do have to bring forth is some. Shun, did you do something? I gotta ask you, L.A. Reid. You 69 years old. Ain't no reason for you to stunt right now. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe that's why you took the settlement and gave it a settlement because you're 69 years old. I get it. You understand what I'm saying? You can't. I mean, what's that a bid of 10, 15 years for you? You know what I mean? So I get it. There's a possibility you would have been 90 when you got out. Had been. Well, this is a civil lawsuit, but I'm just saying that something would have matriculated further from it. Is that fair? So you didn't want to take the risk. I get it. Lifelong fortune. Don't take the risk. I get it. But like I said yesterday, and I don't want to rehash everything again, I was there, and literally 20 minutes after that, I heard somebody come out the courtroom and they said something. And I said, okay, let me go look. I went to go look. Because there wasn't even anybody in the courtroom. This is what y'all not understanding. I went inside. There was nobody in the courtroom. Like the courtroom was dormant by the time I got there. And they might have been there a few minutes in between there. But other than that, they were downstairs. And I didn't know the parties, who they were. They walked right past me. Like literally walked right past me. And I didn't even know it. So I was looking for L.A. Reid. That's what I'm saying. I was looking for him, and I knew what the ex-wife or still wife, I think she is. I knew what she looked like, and I knew what Dixon looked like. I didn't know what the other participators and the characters in the video game looked like. You understand what I'm saying? So, and really wasn't even interested. But we got to start asking some questions. Yeah, we got to start asking some questions. Because if we don't ask questions when it comes to reference, or whether it's Diddy, and I'm telling all you guys, make sure you double tap and hit the like button. if we don't start asking, what's going on, B? If we don't start asking questions, see, this is the problem. Things back then in year 2000, 2001, because this is when these incidents happened, like 2000 something. So things back then may have not looked or been becoming of something that was what you now in today's standards call a sexual assault. If you take it back 20 years prior to that moment, and let's say, what would that be, 1980? There's even a smaller definition. If you take it back 20 years prior to that, if you don't believe me, ask your great grandmother in some of your cases, or whatever the case may be. The term wife beater, ask where that comes from. Are you following me here? As time has progressed, laws have strengthened, definitions of laws have strengthened, and accountability to those laws have obviously strengthened, especially in the financial category. And so what you have is you have a lot of women, and I said it yesterday and I'll say it today, that in between the women that actually have legitimate cases actually were sexually assaulted, whether it be within or not within the music industry. Because do I believe there were some women accosted in the music industry? Yeah, yeah, yeah. All these chicks ain't lying. Not all of them. Not all of them. A lot of them are lying, but ain't all of them lying. That much I give them. Ain't all of them lying. And people can't make the distinction when I say that. See, you ain't gonna never hear me. I look like it. I look at it like this. Every dude out there, one time or another, then had to take his chick and be like, all right, bitch, now that's enough. You understand what I'm saying? And that's usually acceptable. Y'all argue for a few hours. You understand what I'm saying? You better not ever do that again. I swear to God, I believe you. You know, you get through that whole thing and then it's over. Then you have another, which is kind of interesting angle a lot of times, which is this. You get women that based off that one incident I just told you, they'll continue it on or whatever. And I think something happened between LA Reid and this girl that's not being mentioned. And I don't know if it's on her part, her saying, because I truly believe that it was consensual at first. And then I think it matriculated into a thing where she got tired of it or she didn't want to risk her career. And so it became non consensual at that point because she wasn't with it no more. And I can live with that. I can live with that. You got to tell these chicks, you got to, I mean, the chicks, you got to be more vocal. If you don't want a man to advance, because it's a man's natural nature to advance on you. You know, outside all these new wave forms of thinking or whatever, whatever, you're my natural mate, whether you're black, white, polka dot, whatever, whatever, you're female. You understand what I'm saying? You have a duty and I have a duty, and that's to procreate the world for the next generation. And there's a hindrance to that with this inter argument or whatever, whatever. It There are some men out here. Y'all listen to me very carefully. Y'all can go look this up, World Health Organization. There are some men out here that have literally not had sexual contact with a woman in over a year. Now, where do you think that puts you, ladies? That puts y'all in a position where sooner or later people are gonna start pointing the finger at you. It may be 2, 3, 4 years from now, but they're gonna be like, because of women's rights and women's thinking now, da 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 da, they're starting to affect the population, especially within the black population. The only place you will not see this as a hindrance is in Latin population, believe it or not. But in white population and black population, this is a hindrance, this inter-arguing or whatever, whatever. That girl, and I don't know how much money she got, but I gotta say this to you, LA Reid. I don't know what the particulars were in the agreement, but maybe you might want to leak the amount of money. Maybe listen to me, LA Reid. If I were you, I'd do this because it's gonna get a lot worse. Because they're gonna backtrack on this. They just ain't did a circle on it yet. That's why I'm getting ahead of it. I'm trying to help you, Nickel. All right. Listen, you need to push something out there. How much money she got? Put it to a third party. To a third party. I heard that anonymous source. You need to do something, bud. Because if you don't, they're gonna start spinning their own narrative on it. And they're going to start saying whatever they want to about it. And you, my friend, will lose out. Not only your legacy, but possibly your money. So there's a lot of deals and things like that that'll be lost when you have situations like this. Now, the last time I remember being from Bad Boy, the next stop they went to, I had already left because my last stop was with them. This is distributor was with, excuse me, with Interscope. They went to Epic after that. And the only two artists that I know of that were signed there was French and I think Los was signed. And it was somebody else too. I forgot who it was, but they were only ones that were signed to the. And it was a weird deal to me still because physical entities were evaporated. They weren't even no physical entities. What do you need a distributor for? But hey, who am I? I don't know the particulars of that deal. Anyway, long story short here, when you have that deal structured and set up or whatever the case may be, I had already left. So Puff and L.A. Reid naturally have known each other for a very long time. And I had to pose this question: what if Puff would have did the same thing and just settled with Cassie? I gotta ask that question. And it wouldn't be fair for me not to ask that question, regardless of who don't who like me from dealing with Bad Boy and all that, whatever. I gotta ask that question, and it was eerie as hell. I'm telling you from my feeling, it was eerie yesterday being in front of that courtroom because the last time I was down there was for Puff. You see, I don't flag. That's not my purpose. That's never been my purpose. That's not professional's purpose. Anybody that knows me know that's not. I offer counsel. That's what I do. So, what I say to you, but get ahead of this. They might not talk about it tomorrow. They might not talk about it Thursday. They might not talk about it Saturday. But bet your ass they're going to talk about it. And when they talk about it, they're going to ask a whole bunch of questions that I'm asking right now. One, why did you settle? Two, see, a lot of people didn't know about this case. You had to be in the loop to know about this case. One, why did you settle? Two, why did you settle the day that your trial was supposed to begin? Why didn't you settle prior to that? It would have looked better. Number three, more importantly, what were you doing with this chick? Because at some point or another, you have to admit to your wife, hey, babe, I was out here slinging loose D. You know what I'm saying? It's about, you know what I'm saying? He's 69 now, so he was in his 40s when he was out here slinging D. You still in good D. You in good D slinging range up until about 67. You know what I'm saying? You can still swing loose D. And if you've been taking them pills, you can probably swing loose D up until your 70s and 80s. In the Bible, Noah had children at damn near 80. You understand me? Mick Jagger's out here still having kids. David Letterman had a kid at 60 something years old. What did I say wrong? I don't do the articulated, and particularly, I live in a mostly white state, and I don't even talk like that. None of the people here talk like that. I live maybe 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes, 20 to 15 minutes away from what's the name, Diana Ross's estate. The Hilfiger brothers, both of them own homes out here. Martha freaking Stewart lives out here. You understand what I'm saying? So when I hear people and they want to hear that articulate, fake, faux, augmented voice, I don't do that. All right. And most people that really got money, they don't do that either. They talk like me. That's the point of getting money. So you can talk how the fuck you want to. So anyway, long story short here. Well, similarly, anyway. Anyway, long story short, you don't get money to talk like everybody else. Who the fuck does that? I'm gonna get rich so I can be like everybody else. No, you're normal. Fuck, these people are crazy. Anyway, here, listen. There's something that's weird about this whole LA Reid thing. I can't put my hand on it, but there's something wrong. But what I think, Puff, I think you should have did the same thing he did. And I gotta say it like that. Puff, as much as this may not want to be heard by you, you should have did the same thing he did and settled. Now you out of 30 million. She was asking less. You out of 30 million. Not only that, but the whole other shit. And I know you gave her the money. I get that, but it was too late. You should have gave it to her when she first initially had it. Wash your hands of her. Puff spent New Year's and Christmas in jail. And I think to myself, and this is not a sympathy play for Puff or whatever. But somebody wrote in my comments the other day. If you don't know me, my name is Davin. I worked for Diddy for over 17 years, the company rather. Bad Boy Entertainment for over 17 years with some prestigious gentlemen up there, with including I got to watch walk around in the office on a daily basis, Mr. Andre Harrell, who I also never saw in any insidious activity, nor have I ever seen my bosses or the people we worked under, including James Crude, in any insidious activities. So, what I'm saying is, you got to take the years that this stuff happened into accord. You understand what I'm saying? It's not the highlighted digital formats or apps and everything else that you guys have now. And you act like somebody's in the next room and they actually in another state. See what I'm saying? No, no, no. This was personable, and certain type of music was going. Jodeci was out then, and all these sexy songs. It was a whole different mode. It's not like the R&B you girls make now. And I hate him, and I want to, and he broke my heart again, and I hate him, and I want to bust out the windows in his car, and all that sad, depressing. Just go in the bathroom and end the shit, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck? What you making this album for? You ever heard some of the lyrics of some of these R&B songs compared to, like, I'm talking about, like, go back and listen to some albums from 2000 something and then listen to the albums now. I guarantee you'll hear the distinct difference. Some girls back then singed about love and everything like that or whatever, whatever. These girls now, they just sing about depression, hate, and I hate him and he broke up with me for the 15th time and I don't want to be back with him and I'm cheating on this one and oh. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like, no wonder these girls are halfway crazy now. Listen to the bitches they listen to singing. Some of these girls are, they one step away from going into the bathroom and ending it all. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Have you listened to any of these lyrics? I might kill my ex, not the best idea. This time, that was SZA. Remember that? I might just kill my ex. What am I making up? What am I making up? Anyway, this is fucking crazy. And I'm not making fun of SZA. I like SZA as an artist, the old SZA. I don't like this new manufactured. Let's try this idea with a SZA. I don't like that. The conceptualized artists. I don't like them people. Puff used to do that. Think of like the locks of shiny suits. You didn't like that, did you? You know what I mean? So you get me conceptualized. Anyway, it was a different vibe back then in the 2000s or whatever. Big people were way more sexually inclined. They still are sexually inclined, but in a different way. They initiate it digitally. They don't initiate it organically. And so there was a lot of things. The stuff that Puff was doing is stuff people used to do back in the 70s. I know that sounds crazy, but what Puff was doing, listen, I don't know why Gene Dill ain't never tell you this. I'm gonna tell you, since Gene Dill won't tell y'all. Gene Dill see Gene. This is the thing about Gene. Big Midwest, what's up? Listen, man, I love you. This is the thing. Gene be harboring a lot of information because if he don't, it counters some of the shit he's saying. And I understand, so I tell it for you. Back uptown, especially on the side where Gene is at, they used to have parties over there. You can ask anybody over there on that end of the street or whatever. Matter of fact, you know who you can go ask? Go ask Jim Jones. Go ask Dame Dash. Go ask Cam. They're gonna tell you. And listen, so and I'm not even old enough to remember this. You know what I'm saying? To be even quite factual with you, me and my family was living in another state before I'd even came to NY. My connection to the Northeast is my mom's father's side of the family. You get me? But and to this day, they still have them. On the east side, they used to have sex parties all the time. People know what I'm talking about. Niggas would go rent a hotel room. Niggas would be over in this spot, this mom pop. You know what I mean? I ain't got to say no names, but y'all know what I'm talking about. That's a spot to go over there because the ants over there. You go over there, fly over there like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the open spot. They had a spot for the black chicks. They had a spot for the Spanish chicks. You want a couple white chicks in the mix. I'm telling y'all the truth. Y'all want to hear the truth? Y'all want to hear lies. So I live up here. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So what they would do is they would have these spots on the east side of Harlem. Sometimes they would be in Midtown. Sometimes they'd be on the west side. Niggas would go, this was culture, okay? Just pay attention to me. People would go to these clubs or whatever, be 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever. Club ain't over till 4 o'clock in the morning in New York. So everybody's still moving. So, especially during the summertime, Let's go to these parties, son. It'd be 10, 15 chicks. You could go to some clubs, you could sign up and get in. I'm talking about right now still. You can go to some clubs in like Midtown and all these places or whatever, whatever, and they have sex clubs. The same thing down in Atlanta. You go down to Atlanta, they got the same thing happening down there. Ask anybody from Atlanta right now, they'll tell you the same thing happening down there in droves. Because a lot of them niggas from New Jersey and New York, they bought it down there. Yeah. We gonna talk about shit. Let's talk about shit for real. I ain't with all that front and shit. So these people be having sex parties or whatever, whatever. Now, if this shit is still continuing on, and I think in one situation, Texas is the other one. Ooh, Texas, that's bad business down there, boy. You know what I'm saying? Burn, baby, burn. Disco inferno, burn, baby, burn. Texas Inferno. Motherfucker is on. Yo, I read on the list, son. That shit got the most STDs in the whole entire country down in Texas. Burn, baby, burn. Texas Inferno. What's going on, TV? LLA shit chilling, man. Some people having a little conversation about the elder god right there, 69-year-old L.A. Reid, who I showed up at the courthouse yesterday, sat there for 2 hours and a half, wasting my time, really, for there to secretly be a settlement that took place via the courthouse cafeteria. So I went upstairs. I went into the courtroom. I went upstairs and I saw there wasn't nobody in there. So I walked back the fuck out. Like I sat there for like literally probably like 30 minutes or so. Walked the fitted out back out. Da 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 da. Came to the street. I ain't see nobody out. So I said, all right, well, let me go boom, boom, boom. Because my first impression was to be out. I went to go get me a coffee. Came back within, I don't know, 45 minutes. Still wasn't no motion or whatever. The live is still up. Y'all can see it. And so I didn't see any motion or nothing like that. So I left the courtroom again. Came back after smoking a cigarette. And I still say there wasn't nothing going on. Come to find out, the whole time they had been in the cafeteria with her lawyer and they were facilitating a deal for a settlement. So the settlement came through, they got the settlement, and then they secretly just bounced out. Now, I had one group of them walk in front of me. She wasn't there by herself. So I had one of the group walk in front of me, but I didn't know any of these faces that well. So I didn't know what to, you know what I'm saying, entail. What I put together was yesterday, if you'll watch my live from yesterday, y'all see it. There was one woman that was stayed behind, and I think she was with Miss Dixon. That was the one that was suing L.A. Reid here. And she was listening to everything I said. And so when she came behind me, if y'all remember when I was live yesterday, she came behind me when I started saying intricate stuff and she started talking loud on her cell phone. But what she did was, y'all have to understand, she was all the way, if anybody's ever been to the courthouse that's listening to me right now, she was all the way over there by the second set of doors, the revolving door that sits by itself. She walked over to me after sitting there listening to me for about 20, 25 minutes. She walked over to me and started her phone call because she saw two other women standing right there or whatever, whatever. So she wanted to be seen. And she also wanted to let me know she was upset for what I was saying. You understand what I'm saying? Which was, okay, well, I looked at it like this. If L.A. Reid was able to phone in a settlement and you took the settlement, I mean, is it about your advocacy or is it about what happened to you? Or is it about the cash? And I think that's a fair question to ask. I don't know about y'all. I think that's a fair question to ask. Is it about your advocacy? Is it about you? Or is it about the cash? Because your trial was willing to begin yesterday. You said you had that trial going on for, I mean, excuse me, those charges going on for a minute. And if many of y'all are not updated, she actually used the Adult Survivors Act, just like Cassie did, to form this lawsuit. The lawsuit was actually taking place in 2023. I think it's the cash too, because she filed the lawsuit. Ain't no way I wait a year and a half to file a lawsuit. And I say, well, I'm filing a lawsuit because da 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 da. Now, what could have happened? This is a probability. They might have had some type of negotiations going on in the background that we didn't know about prior to this. Maybe he'd been trying to settle with her for a certain amount of money. And L.A. Reid was like, nah, I don't agree to that, da da da. I'll give you this. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Maybe L.A. Reid said, you know what? Listen, I won't give you but I'll give you You understand what I'm saying? She said, nah, So, you know what I mean? Maybe he turned around and he said, yo, you know what, B? This is what I'm going to do. Go ahead and tell that hoe I'm going to give it to. No, no, Mr. Jeffrey, go ahead and call that hotel. Tell her she got it. Go ahead and call that bitch up. Tell her she got it. Go ahead and give it to her. I don't want to give it to her. Go ahead and get that bitch up. And I think that's what happened. Now, the natural scenario is to say, because of many other people, and that's why I got Puff in the picture with him. Shut up, Puff. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry about it. I'm still one of the last bad boy nigga. You know, like a nigga came on here the other day and was like on some shit talking about you still obsessed with Puff. Nigga, I worked for the company for 17 years. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. Puff, I hope you see all this shit when you get out so you know who the fuck was behind you, who wasn't. I never faulted. And this I can take to my grave. And your daddy stood tall, kids. Daddy stood tall. Anyway, listen there. This is the point. There's going to be always a scenario that's put out there when they come back and they rehash the story. Trust me, they're coming back to it. They're just slow on the other stories right now. When they ain't got nothing to talk about, they're coming straight to this one right here with L.A. Reid. He's going to come up with somebody's conversation or whatever the case may be. This is the thing. With L.A. Reid, people are going to try to compare this to Puff. They're going to start getting the connections with Puff. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I went ahead and put the picture out there. So, motherfucker, we can always come back to this video right here. And I'll be like, yeah, nigga, I know. I told you. On this date. Before they said it. So, let me give y'all a little catch up here. When I first started out in the music business, I started out working at 1540 Broadway. Quick little way and suggestion how I got into it. It was by chance. I happened to be standing at a Pizza Hut. It was a little mini Pizza Hut. They had it where Planet Hollywood was and next to Virgin Mega Store for y'all that's familiar with New York, right there on the corner where the McDonald's is now. They're across the street from it. And so I saw about 10 or 15 people walking down the block. And all of them, and one of them had a bad boy sign. And I was like, oh shit, that's the bad boy niggas. They had the bad boy t-shirt. I was just at the perfect place at the perfect time. And so I walked up to one dude and I said, yo, what y'all doing? Da-da-da. Started talking. Da-da-da-da. And then he was like, yo, wait till you talk to my man. Then homie told me, yo, wait till you talk to my boss. What up, for that ass? And they told me that day, they said, yo, just be back tomorrow. Come back over here tomorrow. And I was rocking from that point. When I walked into that building was the BMG building, the Bertelsmann Music Group. I'll say it for you again. The Bertelsmann Music Group. It's a German conglomerate. They are responsible for and a couple other companies or whatever. This is for the people that really want to know the intricacies, not the people that want to know the surface shit. Where's the gossip? I don't do that. I'm not a bitch. So if you're looking for a bitch blogger, you probably want to go somewhere else. So anyway, 1540 Broadway BMG building. Now, this building is a lease building, so they lease it to people. You understand what I'm saying? But at the time, it was the headquarters for BMG. There was Virgin Megastore in front, and then also in this building was Bad Boy Entertainment and also Arista Records. I think there were like 2 or 3 floors on top of us. So, funny thing is, we used to see Clive all the time coming in and out of the fucking building, whatever, when he was in town. He was still old back then. Now, this is the thing. Clive had hired L.A. Reid, I believe, back in 2000, which would have been the same time I was coming in the door, 99 into 2000. I never knew L.A. Reid was upstairs with motherfucking this guy. I never knew. I don't think any of us knew. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, L.A. Reid and Terry Lewis, like, man, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, L.A. Reid, these are like staples in careers of like Janet Jackson and really big, powerful artists. And if you've seen the roster that Clive Davis was managing, Luther Vandross, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, he had all the top tier black artists, all of them. So of course he needed somebody to micromanage. And I forgot what position exactly Clive Davis, L.A. Reid was in, but I'm pretty sure he had some type of what's the name. Not Grand Wizard. I won't call Clive. Clive Davis is a Jew, so he can't be a Grand Wizard. No, they wouldn't accept him. I don't think. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to be very careful when you put labels on people because understand people labels on you too. You understand what I mean? And when people put labels on you as a culture, you don't like it to stick. So make sure when you print the label, I'm not saying you can't use a label. When you print a label on somebody, make sure it's correct. Now he's a Jewish man, Clive Davis. The name has even been changed. So make think about it. Last time I checked, they hate them more than they hate rebels. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? All right, all right. Now back to the story here. I never knew that L.A. Reid was actually up there. I literally never knew this. I used to see Andre Harrell around the office all the time. He used to always be around the office. Oh, okay. You said Grand Wizards. I thought you was referring to the Klan. I was like, nah, they ain't gonna pick. But you get what I'm saying. They ain't gonna pick Clive Davis. That'd be the last person they pick. They picked me before Clive Davis. I'd be a Grand Wizard for Clive Davis would. The way them folks think. You think I'm joking. You got to know how the Klan thinks. The Klan will run past a group of niggas for, for some yarmulkes. Trust me when I tell you that. Oh, they hate those folks. You know what I hate? You know what I hate? The Gentiles so much because they believe they killed Jesus. It was actually a Roman spear that killed Jesus, but anyway, long story short. And who sold them out? He wasn't. That guy that sold him out wasn't Jewish. you know, it's always a funny connotation to it, but hey, who's counting, right? Anyway, they hate everybody. Um, with that being said, at that time period, there was a lot of things going on. There was Murder Inc. There was the budding beginnings of 50 Cent. We can't, as much as that peanut head motherfucker get on my nerves, we can't never take him out of the equation. Never will. He's New York staple. You understand what I'm saying? Jim, Cam, Jules, even Freaky's funny ass. Freaky Zeke was like Dipset's Flavor Flav, like literally. Freaky Zeke deserved more recognition. He need to be on somebody's show. Y'all work that out. Freaky Zeke need his own segment out in the streets or something. Maybe on It Is What It Is. We need to involve Freaky Zeke in more shit. And I want to see Cousin Banger a little bit more. Cousin Banger was funny as hell. These men in the years 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 7, 8, 9, all the way up until probably 15. Cameron come from a large, prominent family. Freaky Zeke and Cam, both cousins. Cam got the same lineage as me. He got Southern blood in his body too. The fuck? He ain't gonna tell y'all that, but I know. You know what I'm saying? Shit, half of the population of New York is from the South or the Caribbean. The majority is from the South or the Caribbean. In some form or fashion, you got a grandma from the South, your cousins down South. You might have been born down South. That's usually what it is. You was born down South or whatever, but a parent or a grandparent or an uncle, somebody from up north. Now you up north, you know what I mean? Like, that is what it is. You stay up north. Because when you try to be from up north and you go back down south, the motherfuckers don't accept you. I don't care what you say. They'll be friendly with you, but they don't accept you. Yeah. It's people out in Cali, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle and all that. Yeah, all that, man. I stay in tune, man. You know what I'm saying? I be in, like these other, if you notice, like that was the first time I took y'all live with me out in the streets for a minute. But if anybody know how this channel began, it has always been me in the New York streets. Like these niggas somehow, yo, we outside. Now I've been outside for the past 6 years. You understand what I'm saying? I done took these niggas to Queensbridge. I done took them to what was it? Where else I went to? Jesus Christ, I done took them to like 5 different projects. You know what I'm saying? All of them I know people over there. So don't think I'm just like, you know what I mean? Nah, all of them I know people. I took them to Marcy projects. I took them to Queensbridge. I took niggas over to Wagner. I'm trying to think where else. I took them to Wagner. I took them to a couple of places. Shout out to my man J Dubs over in Wagner. But yeah, like I take niggas through the hood for real. I was the original nigga that was out at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd be on the block with niggas like literally streaming. I remember this one dude. I don't know, call him how you want to, but he had been talking some shit about me, and I came into his podcast or whatever. I literally on the left hand side of me had like, and they saw I had like 10 to 15 niggas beside me. All crazy, dumb, adoring niggas. Like they're sitting there like, yo, what the niggas is saying? Like what the niggas And then my words man, I'm telling them in the video, I'm like, yo, son, chill. Cause them niggas is different than me. I talk to you. Them niggas don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? There's certain niggas that just don't want to talk to you. Yo, son, chill. I'm like, fuck this nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, listen. Back to L.A. Reid. L.A. Reid is a staplet in the game. And like I said, these girls had a different connotation. These girls used to follow niggas. Like, listen, let me give you an example. We be in Miami. Come back to Miami the next year, the same girls there. Come back to Miami the third year, the same girls there. Now, within that same year, physical year, there's at least 5 different events. It's Memorial Day weekend, it's All-Star weekend, all this, right? We go, and through the year, you'll see them same girls at the same events looking for a come up. This is prior to how social media was being used. You understand? When social media was there, but it wasn't being used like it is used now. So these girls used to literally, no, you got to listen to me. These girls used to literally, and I don't know why these girls like this, what's that girl's name? The red chick and Miss Dixon and who's the other chick? Melissa Ford. All them bitches need to tell y'all this. Melissa Ford, listen, hold up. Melissa Ford. I know when Cam, this nigga put out, he put you on his jeans. Forget about it. He put you on his jeans. Funniest shit ever. Oh man, Cam my type of nigga, man. Anyway, listen. The shit was hilarious. She had said some slick shit about Cam alluding that he had did some sexual shit or whatever. We all know Cam didn't, but it points reference to what I'm talking about before. A lot of these girls are now trying to put men, and they know it's a click that'll work. It's a hustle that'll work. And so she tried to put Cam's name and allude that Cam was messing with some underage girls, and I think she had put Mason in it too. And so niggas brought up her past. Like, yo, shorty, you trying to act like you all debonair now. You come from a background of hoeing. Can we be real? Like you come from like bitches be always talking about, yo, can you be real? No, bitch, you come from a background of hoeing. I remember video set you was at. I'm in the Woe video. We filmed that up there at what's it, Bradhurst. I'm in that scene. I'm in the scene when the club. I'll even show you pictures. I'll show you a picture of the girl that got in the Black Wild Woe video that got the pastels on her breast. I got the picture without her having the pastels on her breast with me. You understand what I'm saying? We had a lot of, how can I say it? We had a lot of women that were loose. And some of these women happen to be your auntie that's about 47, 48 years old now. A lot of these women happen to be your older cousin that's about 45, 44. Yeah, you was busting it down. Listen, remember when, who was it? It was either Hulu or Netflix or one of them. They were getting ready to do a documentary on Freaknik. Anybody remember that? It was getting ready to do a documentary on Freaknik. And Freaknik is one of them examples. See, a lot of these hoes ain't never think they'll get old. I ain't talking about Miss Dixon and L.A. Reid. I'm just talking about these chicks that were what y'all now could back then and were a better selection, in my opinion. Because these chicks now, they got BBLs, fake eyebrows, and everything else. At least them girls back then. I just recently saw Gloria Velez. Damn. Kevin Hart voice. Damn. But I just recently saw Gloria Velez, and she looked different. Kevin Hart voice. Damn. No disrespect to nobody, but damn. It was like Cubana Lust. Anybody remember Cubana Lust? She down there in Florida. Oh, and somebody need to go down there and save Cubana Lust because she She was a straight edge chick too. I met her 2 or 3 times. I showed y'all pictures with me and Pebbles the body too. She got locked up too. But what I'm trying to tell you is, and you should follow by example. Most of the girls that come from Melissa Ford's days is fucked up, on drugs, barely making it, doing all kinds of stuff that don't have nothing to do with what they were originally doing, trying to survive and keep a lifestyle, maintain a lifestyle that they'll never have again in most cases, because most of these girls ain't even talented. Their talent exists with them shaking their ass. That's why I'm trying to tell you, a lot of these girls will be online. All you girls will be online. I'm gonna clip this. All you girls will be online for free with your cheeks out or whatever, whatever. You ain't at the very least got a Cash App link or something like that or whatever. Stop doing that. Because what happens is them pictures last for years. Just like these girls, they're seeing their pictures last for years too. So now when they go get major employment and stuff like that or whatever later on when they need it, they can't get it really like that. What you gonna do? Work with the kids? You used to be a booty model. You used to be popping it. So anyway, when that Hulu documentary for what the hell is it called? Freaknik was coming out. The chicks was out here, son. They was like, nah. They was trying to stop the who. They was trying to stop the Freaknik documentary or whatever. Because what it would have done, it would have exposed who these bitches truly was. That's why I'm mentioning all that. It would have exposed right there, POV, you 2 eyes to see who these chicks used to be when they were 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 years old. And there's never been history been a set of girls that haven't been like this in some degree or another. A lot of women are naturally promiscuous. A lot of women are naturally, how can you say it, inquisitive or whatever. And they're going to be like that from the time they're teens all the way up until the time they are adults and further into their elder years. This is just the way of women. You know what I'm saying? And even though they don't want to admit it and they try to be demure, what you think? Women don't get horny? Did you hear Cassie on the testimony? What are y'all talking about? Did you not hear 50 Cent Baby Moore talk about how she liked it? She started getting into it? No. We're not going to do that. No. Hard questions. And like I said, it's not, I don't think necessarily what L.A. Reid did or didn't do. What I think it is I think it's more so, is this woman trying to cash out? And that's what more, and did she use the court as an agent to do it? And nobody's asking that question, bro. And then the question we got to ask from L.A. Reid, what the hell did y'all have going on? And if you was cheating on your wife, my nigga, sometimes it's better to wash your hands before it gets too loud. I heard people, listen, they said that L.A. Reid was pushing up on her so much that one time one of the friends of the wife went and told her. That's different. That's what they said. What I make up? They said that L.A. Reid was pushing up on the girl so much, Miss Dixon or whatever. I'm referring to her as Miss Dixon. I don't know this chick. So they said at one time it was so visible that somebody went back and told your wife. That's why I said I think it was consensual. And what I think is, I think this chick started busting down. LA might have put some of that pimping in her ear. You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, yo, look here, man. Don't worry about my wife. You know what I'm saying? You know how I play it do. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about my wife. This nigga was like 40-something years old at the time. He's only 69. If this was 25 years ago, 20, he was like 41, 43, something like that. So anyway, he was still in, slinging. Like, that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And she accepted it. And then I think some point or another, it became unacceptable for her. And that's justified. A chick got the right to say, yo, I don't want to do this no more. I don't like being around your wife. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like how this make me look. You know what I mean? And then she started seeing how it could dilapidate her career. And that's what I want to talk about. Even though it's not fair, this happens. When you get a chick, and this is going to happen even more, and I use this with this girl named Claudine or Pauline Clastine or something like that. She had literally accused this dude. I don't know if he's a friend of Kai Sanat or Show Speed, one of those guys. But she had said that this man had took a sexual advantage of her in the bathroom. And come to find out, this was just recent. This is less than a month ago. Come to find out, she was lying. You understand what I'm saying? And people started calling out. Other women started calling her out. And so they got her up out the way. And then it was Jason Derulo. He went to court 4 times. 4 times. Listen to me again. Jason Derulo went to court 4 times. And each time he went to court, the allegation against him got thrown out. Nobody talks loud about this. What they do is and I've noticed this more and more out of vloggers. The same thing happened when that girl went to jail this recently. Rhoda Osman, I think that's what her name is, said she got hit with a brick. The girls were real quiet when this girl got convicted, but they wasn't quiet when all the advocacy was going on for her. Does that strike a familiar? Because that's what it looked like to me. I saw the women quiet. And this girl collected $40,000, went to Jamaica before she turned herself in. Oh, excuse me. She went to Jamaica and New York. Then she came and turned herself in. Everybody was quiet. So what I need you sleuths and Scooby-Doo chicks to do is I need you to do a little investigation. Shaggy. I need you hoes to do a little investigation. Go find out what's going on with this chick. Find out what she gonna do with the money. See if she was solid about everything she was saying she was gonna do, and watch that bitch like a hawk. For the fellas, especially those in the music industry, follow the old tone. We need to sit down and have an inquiry with our beloved elder, an inquiry that is inclusive of a dialogue of preventable tactics. Anytime you need to find me inclusive in that conversation, Bill, before I will be on call. Al's promise. But we've got to be preventative in things like this happening in the future. There is a risk now that L.A. Reid has created, that Puff has created too, I hate to say it, where, and it's love to both of y'all, this is not a bad thing. It is an environment that they have created that now can be used by certain people, because trust me when I tell you this, yesterday when I was down at that courtroom, I was doing that live, I was watching everybody that was listening to me. And y'all wasn't paying attention. I told you that black lady walked over to me because she didn't like what I was saying. And I think she was with Miss Dixon or a supporter of Miss Dixon or something like that. But let's get her. There were bailiffs listening. There was one particular black cop down there that was very upset for whatever reason that a Negro had the nerve to come down here to the white man's courthouse. Anyway, it was him. There was another white bailiff that obviously liked what I was saying. There was another gentleman that came forward, liked what I was saying. Then there was a little Latino man that was about yay high that came out the courtroom just to see what I was doing. But all of them were listening to me. I had a lawyer and it looked like maybe possibly a prosecutor listening to me. So make no mistake about it. Oh, they listen. But the thing is, when you have an abundance of stuff like this going on, where girls are coming in, they're talking about they're being touched over and over and over, because you got to realize this happened. You might same year. I mean, yesterday was what? January to what? January, what was yesterday? Hold on, I'll tell y'all. Yesterday was January the 12th. You might as well stay still last year within the year. If it was a little bit later in the month, I wouldn't count it. But within a 6-month period, you got 2 trials of 2 buddies, Puff and L.A. Reid. Listen, for y'all that are not inclined, Epic Records has had, I don't know if they still do, which L.A. Reid was president of, was literally in a distribution deal with Puff for a while. If you don't know that, not saying that there's any admission of guilt here or whatever the case may be, but what I'm saying is, get ahead of this, because that's what they'll start deducing next. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Jerry Smith, what's popping? So you know, and you don't have to worry about somebody else telling you. I told you. Now, what's ironic again, and I'll say, is that L.A. Reid was also at Arista Records the same time that Puff had his distribution deal. You'll also find that. So go ahead, Scooby Doo. No, I want y'all to know so I could tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what I try to tell y'all niggas up there before. Y'all wouldn't listen to me. Y'all never want to listen to professional. And then after the point, I'm always fucking right. So, like I said, I'll say to you again, sometimes you have to get ahead of this shit. You understand what I'm saying? These good Googling motherfuckers, they're gonna look this shit up and they're gonna find it, and then they're gonna be able to narrate it the way they fucking want to narrate it. No, you narrate shit the way you want to fucking narrate it. This is my story. Now, like I said here, those was two connections. That's it. Puff didn't have nothing to do with this girl. This girl never worked for Puff. She claims that she did Method Man and Mary J. Blige's All That I Need. She had some involvement at that. I don't know to the capacity or whatever. She mentioned yesterday in one of her statements, she can't wait to get back into music. Bitch, don't nobody want to fuck with you. I tell you straight to your motherfucking face, bitch. Listen, Miss Dixon, find some other career. Start doing dog walking, something like that. The biz after you get over on him or you get over on people, it's a wrap. Ain't nobody working with you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday was the last walk. That's the last. You gotta understand that when y'all make moves like this, it's over. Same thing with Cassie. Cassie can't come back to the music business. Nobody want to hear that shit, and ain't nobody gonna work with her. And if they do work with her, it'll be small heads that work with her. None of the big dudes is really gonna work with her like that because the pure simple fact, or for a lot of reasons. Let me shut. Nobody's gonna work with her. Once you get things like this going on or whatever, just like the Pauline Klostine, I did a whole separate live and I said, yo, listen, nobody should work with this chick. Nobody. Nobody whatsoever should work with this chick. If you're out here and you're false flagging and saying that men did stuff too, nobody should work with you. And I'm not saying that Miss Dixon was false flagging. I'm talking about this Pauline Klostine chick. She definitely was and got called out for it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Now, I'm going to end this conversation because I don't want to talk about this too much or whatever. But what I wanted to do was, y'all excuse me, I'm just doing something real quick. What I wanted to do was shed emphasis on the fact that there are women out here that lie in these situations. I hear that the money supersedes anything that happens to them. There are women out here that truly and honestly don't care really about the bulk of women like that. They care about their pockets and lining their pockets. And so, what I'm telling you is in the future here, moving forward, when you see these girls and they file these lawsuits or whatever, pay attention to their behavior after they've been adjudicated to the sense of what they would say. Meaning, yesterday, this woman sat around at that courthouse that I was at for 2.5, almost 3 hours, waiting to see what her lawyers could negotiate for a settlement in the cafeteria. Y'all missing me. I'm going to say it to you one more time. Yesterday, Miss Dixon was sitting around in the courthouse in the cafeteria, waiting 2 to 3 hours, not in the courtroom, in the cafeteria. For 2 or 3 hours, waiting to see what L.A. Reid was going to offer to her. Was it going to be anything that she would accept? At that point, for me, and I'm just saying for me personally, at that point for me, when I see a woman sitting around and muttering around for 2.5 to 3 hours, seeing what the settlement's going to be instead of spending 2.5 to 3 hours on her scheduled court date, it occurs to me that the money was more imperative than the actual cause. A real hoe would have been like, look here, now fuck that money. Fuck that money. Don't worry about it. We're going to have a show. We want my advocacy. And they would have rolled it out to the end. Thought I missed that, huh? I know. I never miss nothing. That's why they call me professional. Anyway, listen, the what I'm getting at is this. Somehow or another, these women, when they're coming to the fore, a lot of these situations, whether it be lawsuits, whatever it be, or whatever, let's make sure we believe the ones that are believable. I want to make sure that's apparent. We want to believe all the women have been sexually assaulted, mistreated, whatever the case may be. That is imperative that we believe those women. But for the bitches to come in and motherfucking lying For the hoes that come in and they just want a motherfucking paycheck, and you can see that definitive by them taking a motherfucking settlement and waiting 2.5 or 3 hours instead of having that day in court that they've been waiting for since 2023, it would be imperative for me to say, fuck them bitches. Straight up. Straight up, fuck them hoes. I don't have no stomach for a lying ass, conniving ass, I need to cash out, worthless ass hoe bitch. No, I don't. And any chick that's ever been really sexually assaulted, y'all listen to me. If y'all catch one of these hoes lying, y'all beat the motherfucking brakes off that bitch for getting in the way. That ain't a request, that's an order. Y'all beat the dog shit off any hoe that's on motherfucking line getting in the way of you ladies that's really been sexually assaulted, really been harmed, really been something done to them. Y'all beat the shit out them hoes for getting in the way. Ho, you in the way. Because there's going to be more of them to pop up. Trust me, ladies. I'm talking to the real women. I ain't talking to the skanks, scallywags, thoughts. I ain't talking to y'all. BBL owners. I ain't talking to you hoes. Now, what can we do to make the workspace safe? Because that's the imperative here, right? Well, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to get it to a point where men are fearful of women in the music workspace. Jason Derulo is an example of this. Jason Derulo was brought up 4 times, maybe 3 times in the courtroom with alleged of sexually assaulting some girl that he never sexually assaulted, and it was proved 4 times that this chick was lying. Jason Derulo, as a response, said publicly, "I will never work with women again." See, what your hoes don't understand is the older thoughts, they're going in these courtrooms and all that shit or whatever. And I'm not talking about Miss Dixon in particular, but the older thoughts that are going into the courtroom and trying to file these lawsuits or trying to use people's names or whatever, they cashing out. That's it. Whether they somebody like that little bleach blonde gal that always talking about motherfucking Puff, you understand what I'm saying? Selling them little $25 tickets for her group. Whether it be that little bleach blonde white chick from that aforementioned group that's selling them little $25 tickets at the local fair. Local fairground ass bitch. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna stop because I can go in on that hoe. But anyway, listen, whether you're selling $25 tickets at the local fairground, the local Piggly Wiggly, you and the 3 remaining group members of that group that a particular man that's incarcerated right now named and made the songs for you, basically because ain't none of you bitches creative except for one of them. And that's the truth. Okay, it was only one chick that was creative. All right, one out of you bitches. The rest of you bitches are some harmonizer bitches. Okay, girls, let's go. That was the extent of your creativity. And if you don't believe it, your name ain't on none of the production credits. Your name ain't on none of this shit for songwriting, none of that shit. So shut the fuck up. The girl I'm talking about, the other girl, the black gal, she is. Figure that shit out. Anyway, yeah, because I ain't with all this tearing everybody down, but at the same time, sometimes bitches be like lying. You know what I mean? I don't like a lying bitch. I hate a lying asshole. For real. That's the worst thing on earth. You know, Eve was a motherfucking liar. No, not Eve the rapper. Eve back in the Garden of Eden. She was a liar. Start thinking in a different tone when it comes to these cases with these girls. And like I said, a lot of these girls are going to lie. We are living in the times now where people are not on the highest of morality. People will lie on social media to get attention, to get likes. They think the transaction of likes and viewers really amounts to something. The only thing that amounts to something is the viewers. You know what I'm saying? It don't even matter no more if they don't hit the cash app. In my opinion, the cash app thing is only for girls, LBGTQ men, and simps. That's the only motherfuckers gonna get cash apps. Oh yeah, and multimillionaire blacks. If you're a multimillionaire black African Americans, for some reason or another, they love donating to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It is what it is. Who cares? But yeah, I'm more focused on getting this economy up with Google more so than dealing with the people. So when I talk about, I'm just talking about from the heart. You ain't gotta like me or whatever, but it's crazy to me that we got people out here that are willing to join on to a lie before they induce the truth or they do their proper investigations. People are very selective in what they do their investigations on when it comes to this hip hop stuff. And like I said, whether it's L.A. Reid they're gonna talk about, or whether it's Puff they're gonna talk about, when y'all gonna start going after the white people that's in the business? Huh? I just told you when I came in, Puff was signed under Arista, and Arista was signed under a German conglomerate. So when y'all gonna go get y'all box of sauerkraut and go over there and handle that? You need to handle that. What's wrong? Y'all scared? You scared? Y'all don't want to handle that? I say it for you again, just in case you whether we going after Puff or they're gonna go after L.A. Reid in a minute. Trust that it's gonna come up in the conversation. I had a question to pose for you. I told you when I started in the music industry, I started at BMG, which is the Bertelsmann Music Group, which was Arista was under, and Arista had to deal with Bad Boy, right? I ain't never heard a motherfucker say, yo, we going out to BMG. Where's your sauerkraut? Why y'all going after them? I ain't never heard niggas say, yo, we getting on a plane and we going over to Japan and tell these niggas what we think over there, Sony. I ain't never heard y'all say that. Y'all flying over to China to get sneakers though. Y'all flying over to China to perform. I ain't never heard niggas say, you know, this English-based company, we're gonna go over to England, we're gonna give them a 1 or 2 and try to take down the owner. See, unless you do that, what happens is, unless you're trying to fly over to England or somewhere, Germany, or where these companies are really at, unless you're trying to go over there and cancel them, unless you in their front of their face or whatever, trying to cancel them, and I will tell you, be careful, be careful, be very careful. What happened? It was a fucking plane crash. I don't know what the fuck. Fucking car crash. He was on his way to the airport. you know, when you get people to get in these situations or whatever the case may be, a lot of times what's going to happen is you're going to get people that 9 times out of 10 you never knew existed. And if your advocacy ain't against them, the only thing they're going to do is that it's going to replace this guy. They're going to replace Puff. Just like they replaced this recently, Ebro, with this Murrow kid, whatever the fuck his name is, which was this horrible. You try to get a dude that was the same aesthetic as Ebro. Like this dude is basically this the East Coast version of Ebro. Many of y'all don't know Ebro originally from California, but Ebro a New Yorker. Anyway, my point is they're gonna replace him with somebody else, and that face will also be a nemesis that you will grow not to like, or whatever the case may be. I always think a lot of times the real stale point of this conversation is jealousy and envy. I think it's more of that. I think it's so many people that don't have so much that they're now jealous and envious of these people. And it's always been like that in times or queens, you know. How do you have so much and I have so little? And then you're even in a worse space if you used to have something like me. If you used to have something and now you don't have all of something that you used to have, oh, it's even worse for you. Oh, it's even worse for you. You better pick up a pistol. That's my suggestion. you know what I mean? Long story short, yeah, man, today's times are different. So somebody try to take out the people that are the heads, take the whole damn company down. But you better have one thing in place. When you're trying to take down these record companies, you better make sure you remember that they hire a lot of black people. You better have some jobs to replace for those jobs that you take, or they're gonna turn around and start hating you. All right, so that's enough about that. I spent the hour on that. I'm gonna get back into that probably again. I wanted to talk about something that Trump just did recently here on the top of the hour. And guys, make sure y'all hit that like button. Also, make sure y'all hit up that Cash App right there, support the channel. I was down at the courthouse yesterday before it live when it first hit within 20 minutes. So y'all guys can go and check that out. It's my last live from yesterday at LA Reid's trial that was supposed to happen, but didn't happen because it was a settlement. Undisclosed amount of a settlement. I don't know how much of that settlement it was, but I know at the time that I was down there, I spent about 2.5 hours down there at LA Reid's trial. I didn't see anybody in the courtroom when I went upstairs or whatever. It was basically barren. There was a few people in there, but it was barren. Um, I never saw LA Reid because LA Reid never showed up, and there was a settlement, and it took about 2.5 hours, and it was all facilitated in the cafeteria in the basement. So that's what happens. The undisclosed amount, we don't know what the particulars are or whatever. And particularly, they might come out sooner or later. Moving on, I want to talk about what Trump just did. Trump just decided this recently. Did you used to live? Yeah, 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 yeah. I know who you are too, boy. You understand what I'm saying? But quit writing shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. This be a little bit better than that. You know what I'm saying? But what up, Danny? So anyway, long story short, right? This is the thing. We got a how can I say it? We got an issue. Trump, I don't even think it's an issue. Trump decided, and I don't know why he decided, but Trump decided that he was going to end the stays for Somalis. And it's very interesting that he chose to do this. So, what I mean by he chose to end the stay for Somalis, meaning that he doesn't want, okay, this is the thing. It was conflict in Somalia, right? And it allowed these extended visas to be taken advantage of here. And this is years ago now. And so that is not the case anymore. And what Trump is saying now is the conditions there in Somalia are better. So these people that have been here on these stay visas, they don't no longer need to be here. So what he's doing is he's ending the stay visas on Somalis, which means there's going to be a lot of people that get deported. And it's very interesting because I don't know why he didn't apply the same logic, if you want to say, to what he had with the immigration situation with Latinos. I'm gonna be honest with you. I always emphasize all the time. There's a very big difference between Latin Americans and Latin Caribbeans. Extreme difference. You understand? I find Latin Americans are a lot wilder. They're a lot more uncultured than Latin Caribbeans. I find Latin Caribbeans are a lot more cultured, a lot more educated usually at time, and they're better with their kids too. I think that's my personal opinion. But and I won't make that inclusive of all Latin Americans versus Latin Caribbeans, but there's a distinct difference. Trust me when I tell you, I like it's a difference. Trust me, you know what I mean. Especially when you start getting into places like Ecuador and Guatemala and Mexico. These are people that traditionally they don't even have like a Latin culture, if you want to say. It's more so like Indio. And tú sabes, por la gente latino, tú sabes, es diferente porque en la que tú ahí dicen, tú sabes, esta es la autora jíbaro, un campo, tú sabes. Esta no la, toda la gente, pero en Nueva York, Nueva Jersey, tú sabes, pero en la Connecticut, tú sabes, son diferentes. Era dominicano, Honduras, tú sabes, la toda la gente, pero en la negrito, era soy. Eso, porque la gente era toda blanco, indio, yo no saben en la mente representando, pero los negritos, negro, tú sabes, no sabe nada. So it causes a problem. And so for me, I was wondering, I said, why didn't Trump just do this with Latinos? And he specifically wanted to do it with just Somalis. And then I found out it was that damn near billion y'all motherfuckers took. Now, it wasn't all Somalis. And we're not going to start a hate train on Somalis. I ain't doing that. But what I will say is for the Somalis that were involved in the delusion, in the stealing of $9 billion. And we got to watch out for more of this. I would imply that y'all start doing a massive investigation because, see, a lot of people don't understand this. We now have people to the country that don't have the best interest of the country. They don't have the best interest of the people in the country. In fact, they want to dominate them. This is very different from the people that you traditionally know, like Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, etc. These are different people. These people are bent on everything that they can't have fluctuate in their own country. That's why I'm respected. You're not flossing and popping your chest out of people in your own country. No, you left that motherfucker because you didn't have shit over there, bitch. That's why. So I look at people, give me a second, y'all. This thing is acting up again. I look at people that have that type of attitude or whatever, whatever, and I feel little of no empathy for them whatsoever. Like literally, I have no empathy for them. Y'all just give me a sec. I gotta recalibrate this thing. I have no empathy for people like that. And so when I see the Somalis and they stole almost $9 billion, it's hard for me to feel sorry for you because you did this intentionally. And we got more and more people coming into this country. They're going to use those same means. They're going to get into White House like Ihan, the name Ihan, whatever her fucking name is. I looked at her and I was like, she just looks untrustworthy, you know. And if you look at a lot of these folks that are foreign entities that are trying to get into Congress and everything else, you'll find very quickly if you're familiar with the personality, you'll see right through them. You'll see right through them. See, the difference between me is I know when I see a slick ass Latino. Oh, I know better than anybody. I know when I see a suavecito, you like the use motherfuckers type of Latino. I don't like Latinos like that. Most Latinos don't like people like that. They look at them as trash. Oh, you're not here to help or contribute or anything like that. You're here just to take advantage of resources and think you're in charge. I got you. And so you have a lot of these different entities that are in this country now that aren't traditional Americans, that aren't people that care about your American values. Excuse me, guys. They don't give a shit about your American values or any of that stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And you're going to be at a loss. Y'all give me a second. I'm trying to recalibrate this thing. I got it on my dolly. If y'all can hear beeping in the background, and this is acting wild right now. This thing sometimes, if you don't recalibrate it the right way, it acts weird. That's what you're up against now. Down in Jersey, I'll give you an example. The mayor of Hoboken is what do you call it? A sheik or a sheikh. Those are the guys that wear those little turban things on their head. Most people don't know who these people are, but they wear these little turban things on their head, and a lot of people will think that they're Indian. They're not Indian. They're more Punjabi. I think that's what they're called. And cool people, but some of them have some very racist sentiments. Um, the Somalis have some very racist sentiments. They look at themselves, some of them, as if they're Arab and not African, which is weird to me, but because most of the world considers them African. But for some reason or another, a lot of them will consider themselves Arab, and the first thing they'll consider themselves is Muslim. So already there's a distinction and a difference. Um, this is getting in the way, in my opinion, of a lot of people feeling comfortable. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like feeling uncomfortable in the place where I grew up. I don't like that. I don't think it's fair to anybody that's here. I don't think it's fair to those people either. I just, and especially if you're stealing money. And that's the main problem right there. The stealing. These people stole $9 billion from people in that area, and they could have went to them. And so I have an issue with that. I think most people should have an issue with that. Do I feel bad that Trump has said, no, we're going to end the stays that these people have extended in some cases 3 or 4 times? Now we're ending that shit. And I think INS should have done it a long time ago, to be quite honest with you. It would have prevented that $9 billion from getting stolen. Anybody that comes into the United States and your intentions are to steal, fuck you. And I think INS should be called on you. I think FBI should be called on you. I think you should be thoroughly investigated. You'd be surprised the shit that Americans are asked to tolerate on a daily basis dealing with some of these folks from foreign countries. You have to understand, I'll speak for Latinos. A lot of Latinos are uneducated. It is what it is. And I'm talking about formerly uneducated and second tier collegiate educated. A lot of them. Anybody want to argue with me? Now we're not talking about American Latinos. No, 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 no. I'm talking about Latinos straight from pero la Caribbean, pero Latin American. I'm talking about them. Entonces, en la mente, la jíbaro, jíbaras, pero la campo. Got me? Okay. So, all these people, they done lived on the countryside the whole lot. They've been raising chickens, dog fighting, walking around barefooted. You know what I'm saying? Their whole entire life. Their whole life consists of going swimming and fishing. You understand what I'm saying? And what we eating tonight? You know what I mean? They're not thinking about politics. They're not thinking about, what's 10 times 10. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about DR, chicks is down there. Entonces saben, la campo en Boca Chica. Para la gente latino, entonces saben, claro. So, en chicha. Pero la chicha la niño. Entonces sabes, para un chavo, en la actora tiene 3, 4, 5. Hambre espera un toradillo para un chavo. En la gente en la casa, entonces sabes, tiene 8, 9. Entonces sabes, la grande familia, tú sabes, ¿no? So when I see people sit back and they be like, yo, the poor Somalis, they've got such a tough road ahead. These motherfuckers took $9 billion. So I think we can fall off the Venezuelans for a minute. That's my point. I think we can fall back from the Mexicans for a minute. I think we can fall back from all of Latin culture for 5 minutes, because I ain't seen one motherfucking nigga from Ecuador, Guatemala, or any fucking where else steal $9 billion like these motherfucking Somali niggas did. Is that fair? I'll say that again for you. So you thought I was going to say something else, right? Fucked you up. I ain't seen nobody from Ecuador. I said, yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference between Latin Americans and Latin Caribbeans. But where I come to emotion at is all the emphasis is put on them if they're illegal immigrants, right? But these motherfuckers were stealing $9 billion, stayed over here 2-3 times this day. This country has been stabilized thanks to Ilhan Omar and her advocacy. So now that the fucking stage been, y'all going back home. Simple as that. Y'all ain't got to steal no more. Y'all can go steal from Somalia, right? Go steal $9 billion from Somalia, your home country. Fuck them. Don't sit up here and talk about Latinos from the Latin Caribbean, Latin America, or whatever the case may be, because them niggas might be, the most you get niggas to do is go to a soup kitchen or something like that, take everything that's there. The motherfucker, you hear a Latino hear something for free, they going. You know what I mean? Free. Yeah, they're giving out free eggs down the block. Harry, Marty, Harry. Oye, el ese, tú sabes, tiene los leche para los niños, tú sabes. Ahora, sí, ahora. Oh. You know what I mean? That's the most you gonna get. Niggas ain't formulating how to, unless it's a separate individual. He getting it for his own, like Mondoro. Mondoro was getting his money for him and his bitch, and maybe a couple other people he took care of. He wasn't taking that money in for the whole entire nation. That's what you must understand. That's why the United States went in there. Yeah, acting like he was collecting money and saying, yeah, let no go and evenly distribute this amongst the people. There was people in Venezuela fucking starving, nigga. People was over there eating one time a day, 2 times a day, because they can't afford to eat no more. Go listen to what the people are talking about, then you understand. It's a very different situation. Those motherfuckers out there in Minnesota, they have built more. They got a mall they built out there that holds, I think, something like 200 to 300 shops within it. They have instituted all kinds of programs and things like that. Most of them live very comfortably. You see some of the videos, the kids are wearing Jordans and shit. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, the people of Minnesota ain't got shit. So if you ask me, because especially these motherfuckers took $9 billion from them. So if you ask me, am I upset with Trump ending their stay as far as INS is concerned and saying, no, you can't stay here any longer. You are to be immediately deported. No, I don't have a problem with that shit. I don't have a problem with that, Gip. Sure don't. Fuck them. You stole $9 billion. Now, this is the problem. And shut me up if you have an issue with it. Right now, Trump just said a few minutes ago, he said, yo, listen, I want to give everybody $2,000 so we can get something this little change. You better do that shit. I'm trying to tell you, change a lot of things if you do that shit. Get them on it, get them on it. You say you was going to hand out $2,000. You need to hand that shit out now. If these motherfuckers been spending years spending $9 billion, that shouldn't hurt you. Shouldn't hurt you at all. Shouldn't hurt you at all. Matter of fact, the money that you were spending on that program and now you're getting rid of them motherfuckers, use that towards the $2,000. Go ahead and make that happen. Go ahead and make that happen. Go ahead and make that happen. I ain't never in my life seen the United States at the state that it's in, and motherfuckers are moving into the country so they can steal. And then they'll try to gang up on you and act like you wrong. Let me tell you a little story I had yesterday. Yesterday when I was leaving the courthouse for L.A. Reid's thing. I'm going to give you a quick example. Yesterday when I was leaving the courthouse for L.A. Reid's joint or whatever, there was this little, I wasn't going to tell the story, but I'm going to tell it. It was a little Asian man. And he was coming around the corner, a little small little man too. He was small. I'm 6'3", just to put it in perspective. This nigga was small. I could have picked him up with my hand. You understand what I'm saying? And most people don't realize how tall and how big I am until they get up on me, because from a distance, I'm a little smaller than them. When I get up on you, then you understand. So he was trying to swoop by me or whatever he was trying to do, and I ain't see his little ass. So this is how weak he was. I took my forearm like this, and I just, like literally, just took his whole chest and moved him back. And that's what he got mad about, because he wasn't expecting that. So he want to turn around and act tough. No, you are tough. What the fuck? The nigga came out his mouth, called me a nigga. So I tried to slap him. I went like that. I said, phew. I wasn't even trying to punch him. I was trying to slap him. Boom, like that. And I missed him. And so one of the African niggas came from behind me and said, no, my brother, leave him, my brother. And so he started talking shit. And he said, you know what? Show me your passport right now. I said, you know what? Show me your green card right now, motherfucker, you bitch. And I called him a couple of expletives in Asian law. Fuck him. You know what I'm saying? The point was, you know what I'm saying? The nigga came out his mouth at me. So now you got a lot of these niggas that think they better than Americans. Oh, we here now. Now shit gonna change. Nah, bitch, shit ain't gonna change. You about to get fucked up. Because a lot of people take that you hesitating not to do nothing to them is like, there's some niggas that come over to the country and they used to treating people a certain way over in their country, and they think they can apply it over here in this country. And we ain't had none of that shit going on over here. You understand what I'm saying? So now you putting yourself susceptible with a nigga like me. And especially, let me tell you this, especially if you Latin Americans, stop trying to start trouble with strangers. Somebody gonna kill you doing that. And I don't know where like these niggas get in their mind that niggas are playing with them. Niggas get killed and shot and stabbed over here every day. What you think, you exempt from that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit to be blowing my mind. I'll be like, nigga, I know niggas that got 2-3 bodies on them. Are you okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think of you that que macho Latino shit. Yo, save that shit at the door when you step in the United States, nigga. For real. Especially if you ain't built like that. This nigga was like 5'4". I'm like, nigga, I will stomp the fuck out of you out here. I can look at you and tell you don't work out. I can look at you and tell everything that you eat is shit. So that means you got a whole bunch of carbs in your body. I mean, you slow as fuck. And even though you might be big, even, let me tell you something, even big niggas, I love big niggas. Big niggas are usually, unless they are big and they built, if they just big and fat, or they big and they just big because of this to be big, usually them niggas are fucking slow as fuck. I'm going to tell you why. They digest a whole bunch of carbohydrates every day. That's how they get big like that. They mistake muscle with fat. So they end up eating a whole bunch of carbohydrates every day. They eat a whole bunch of red meat, which also slows you down. You understand what I'm saying? So really what you got a fat ass fucking out of shape tank. You understand what I'm saying? They can't move fast as you can. So I was just like, I was taken back by that yesterday. And I was just like, yo, I'm glad I didn't put my hands on this mother. I'm glad my smack didn't reach his face. Let's put it that way. But yeah, man, I had to bring that up about the Somali thing. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, that's so violent, man. Fuck that. Niggas try to kill the president 2 times, bitch. You want to talk about violence? You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about violence? These niggas took out Charlie Kirk. You want to talk about me being violent? Shut the fuck up, getting tuned with that. Explain that shit first. We try to take out Trump 2 fucking times because what Trump had to say, fuck you. I ain't gonna never be with that shit. I don't give a fuck if you don't like what Trump had to say or not or whatever. The nigga has a right to run. He is our president or whatever, whatever. Should nobody be taking shots at him? Plus, the way it looks to the rest of the international world, it looks like, yo, y'all motherfuckers can't even get it together amongst yourself. So am I mad about Trump making this move and telling the Somalis, hey, you got to get the fuck on? No, I'm not. I'm not at all. So, good luck to you. You know what I'm saying? Go steal $9 billion over there in Somalia. You understand what I'm saying? Let us know how that worked out. They don't take you out there in the desert before we find out. Anyway, last thing I want to talk about real quick is somebody, speaking of somebody that pissed me off. And this might be a little rant to some of y'all, whatever, and I take it how you want to. One thing I don't like is I don't go to other people's pages disrespecting them. So I just had to have this little conversation real quick or whatever. It's pertaining to me, and I'm always gonna speak up for me. I had somebody yesterday and my chat is filtered. So if you say something too extreme, it gets held for review, and then they'll do an automatic, like literally flagging of your material. They deem that what you have there is susceptible to something that goes against the rules. So this will let you know that you write something crazy in my page, YouTube takes care of that, not me. You know what I'm saying? I don't flag people. I'll let you say what you say. I'd rather show up at your house or some shit like that, to be honest with you. So, you know what I mean? Make no mistake about it. I'm not going to tongue wrestle with you here in the chat room. But yesterday, somebody said something to me, and this person had been on my page when I was covering the Diddy trial. And that's the only reason I'm bringing it up, because you said the same type of shit then. There is somebody that is nuttier than squirrel shit that keeps on following my page because of the pure simple fact they don't like Puff. That's somebody that's obsessed with Puff. People will write in my chat room talking about Diddy and all this shit or whatever. I'll be like, yo, I'm not even talking about Puff. So I know they over here for that, right? And that's cool. I'm cool with that. I used to work with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that. You know what I'm saying? I also worked with several other record companies. You never talk about that. But anyway, long story short, with my experience with that and everything like that, yesterday was funny because I was down there at the courthouse for LA Reid, and somebody wrote, and I didn't see it until after I was done, because like I said, go to YouTube Studio. And this motherfucker was like, yeah, ha, you still out here begging for cash? I'm like, yo, my nigga, I ain't even say nothing about cash apps in my whole entire life. I just did my live or whatever. And that seems to be the thing that y'all ride on now, shaming people out of cash apps or whatever. So to the new black KKK that's out there, let me explain something to y'all how economics works. If you are even trying to make sure that 2 to 3 people in the culture don't make any money, you are the problem. You understand what I'm saying? Because the oppressors that are out here, I'm trying to make sure that niggas don't get money. A lot of bitches will be sitting around and be like, oh, Tyrone won't get a job. Da, 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 da. A lot of people don't want to hire Tyrone. It's more beneficial to keep Tyrone out of the job space and limit it to 2 to 3 Tyrones and 4 to 5 Keishas, because Keishas can be handled and managed a little bit better. They ain't going to quit as quick as Tyrone do. You understand what I'm saying? So there's that situation. And any white motherfucker out here, you know what I'm talking about. You don't believe me? Go to your local Target right now if you live in a Latin city or a Latin populated city, or go to your local CVS, or go to your local restaurants or whatever. You'll see they're flooded with Latinos now. Those blue collar, basically high schooler jobs. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody with no degree working at them jobs. Ain't nobody with any education working at them jobs. But my point is, this is what they're flooded with. So even people that did want them, it's in there. You know what I'm saying? It's out of the balance or whatever. That being said, man, I had yesterday and I had this dude leave the comment. And when he left the comment, I was just insulted because I was like, yo, what the fuck would you leave that for? Like, what's the purpose in you leaving that comment? And the purpose was to illustrate that he has some type of control with the people, I guess, is in the, I'm half black and I'm half Cuban. So I guess he has some control. You know, it's kind of like what Tekashi 6ix9ine was talking about, the black police. You know, it's just link the black police that be online. I call them the like whatever crew, but Takashi 69 called them the black police. They basically go to people's pages, tell people what they can and can't ask for, tell people what they can and can't. Nigga, listen to me very carefully, right? You will lose your life fucking with me like that. Because back in the day, if you was on the block or something like that, niggas was like, that's equivalent to a nigga telling a nigga, yo, don't go fuck with them niggas down the block. Them niggas got trash. You understand what I'm saying? Like a nigga come see you on that. So if I got my Discover Cash App up there, there's no place for any motherfucker that's calling themselves black and spiritual. Da, 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 da. You're trying to be a master. What you trying to be, a black slaver? Is that what you are? Because they had black slavers, you know that, right? Yeah, they had black slavers. So black slaver would take slaves and buy slaves from and he would earn his freedom and then buy slaves and then put them into motherfucking work. One of the biggest black slavers was a woman in North Carolina, believe it or not. She was the first, a black woman. Black woman put blacks into slavery. Yes. So the black police that run around online, I kind of find them equivalent to that. And it's mighty funny that the information and the shit that I do, whatever, surpasses them. So it's a lot of jealousy. It's a lot of envious notion and things like that involved too, whatever. But to anyone and everyone that's on here, you ain't got to donate to my page, Sean. Right? You ain't got to. But to come on my page and try to encourage other people by leaving comments, like, because you left it as a comment. You ain't leave it as when I was live. You left it as a comment after. And I said, oh, that's that motherfucker that been here before. So you just sitting here like a voyeur watching me? Like, you weird, son. So anytime you see a nigga online, and I'm just telling y'all, anytime y'all see a nigga online in the future that be online and be like, yo, don't support that person, don't do that with that person or whatever. Yo, y'all should check that nigga. That nigga's part of a system of white supremacy. Like, you basically the nigga that's running around on the planet. Master, they trying to run away again. They trying to get some money, Master. Don't y'all give this nigga no money. Master Jenkins don't like him. What kind of fucking Sambo shit is that shit, bro? Anybody got an answer to that for the 19 weirdos that's watching me right now that won't say nothing? Anybody got an answer for that? What promotes that type of behavior? Are you control freaks? Or are you like, I need some answers. Does that mean that that black person, because they had that picture in the profile, so I know they black. Does that mean that that black person is a control freak, a communist, a fascist, a socialist, or trying to replace one master with another? Because that's what it seemed like is going on here. You trying to replace one master with another. And I got some niggas for that. I don't like niggas like that. You understand what I'm saying? And I think it was one of them FBA people because ever since I said something about that FBA shit is getting out of hand to the point you might have to kill one of them niggas. I'm being dead serious with you. I'm gonna tell you why too. These niggas be jumping online and they be acting like they can like bully niggas. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So I got into an exchange with one of these niggas the other day, and the nigga says, and this is on a different app. It's not on here. The nigga said some slick shit to me. Oh, you ain't one of us, and and I was like, nigga, fuck you. Why the fuck would I want to be like you? The only thing you do is shit online all day and try to point out people. This person's not FBA. This person's not FBA. Look at this tether. I'm like, what beneficial y'all doing for the culture? And that's all y'all been doing for a year. So beneficial y'all been doing for the culture. And I shut the fuck up. They have not done nothing but put up and repost and call people tethers. And I'm like, it seems like a waste of energy right now. This is a bunch of pussy ass niggas sitting at the sideline. You ain't doing no real work, nigga. I've been around niggas that did real work in the street. I done took niggas here to motherfucking Allah School of Mecca. I done took niggas around the Muslims or whatever, feeding the community. You can't lead the people unless you can feed the people. Where was y'all niggas at when these girls were having this EBT crisis? Where was all these FBA niggas talking about, yo, let's put our money together? And I called it out during that time. Y'all niggas looked weaker than any motherfucker. I went after that EBT crisis, ladies. I'm trying to tell y'all, any nigga that's calling themselves LBA and they didn't reach out to help y'all or ask you if y'all needed something, I would cut them niggas off if they ever came in my face. Nigga, what was your FBA, nigga? Don't tell me about no fucking pride. My kids might have been starving, bitch. I don't give a fuck. All that shit supersede all that pride shit. My kids are starving. That supersede all that pride shit. Tyreek Nasheed and them, he had a video on his page where they were having a dinner at his museum and a comedy show when the EBT crisis was going on for the black women. Don't you ever forget, it was a white man that came to y'all salvation. That was Donald Trump, not niggas. So with that being said, I'm gonna say once again, If you come to my page and you don't like what I say, or you sitting here listening to me, or you sitting here and you don't agree what I have to say, that's fine. You ain't gotta hit the like button. You ain't gotta hit motherfucker Wilson. See, they don't hit the like button because they don't want you to go out and saturate more. They don't share your posts because they don't want more niggas to hear shit that I'm talking about. That's why I try to tell you, most of these niggas now are evolving into communists and socialists and fascists. This is how they operate. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. We'll get the views. We'll get we'll get the money. You understand what I'm saying? Like I was surprised. I was like, yo, I got my first little YouTube check last month. I was surprised. I was like, shit. And it was money that was saved up. You know what I'm saying? Like I hadn't cashed it out. So I had a nice little Christmas. You know what I'm saying? But I learned right there from getting that first check. I said, oh, okay, I gotta stop fucking with this shit. I'm not one of these niggas that can get money out of the people. Ain't nobody in the black culture gonna donate to me. And they sitting up and they telling you to your face, like, yo, we don't donate to people like you. All right, cool. Don't donate to people like me. I got Latinos who do the same. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So what you do is you bent the way and you find a way to get paid. But do remember this. Do remember this. With you saying outwardly that you don't want to help me and that, it's gonna be one day, and I can guarantee you, because trust me, I'm gonna be back on top of this. It's gonna be one day that many of y'all that say y'all wouldn't help me, including a lot of you motherfuckers from Bad Boy Entertainment too. I was really depressed about that because I was like, yo, it's so many niggas that could put. There's niggas at Bad. I'm gonna put it on full. There's niggas at Bad Boy that know what I've been doing. Know and for a fact you could put 2,000, 3,000, and be like, yo, son, appreciate you being down there and helping the cause. Or y'all see my shit up here, and instead you do nothing. The real reality is y'all niggas was fake the whole fucking time. You was a fake nigga the whole time. That's fine. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the niggas I directly work with. And then the excuse will come with you with, well, nobody owes you nothing. Well, that's the shit Puff was saying. Ain't that why he up there now? That's the same shit Puff you say. Ain't that why he up there now? I just want the record to always show the only motherfuckers that came down to that courthouse for Puff outside his family was me for the longest. You understand what I'm saying? Son that was there every day. I forgot what his name was. It was sitting in courtroom with son. I ain't said his name in so long. With the dark skinned brother and Kanye. And that's it. Ain't nobody else come down that motherfucker. You better pay the fuck attention, nigga. These niggas don't love you. I heard Jim Jones say that to Dame Dash in that video. He says these niggas don't love you, B. These niggas don't love you. And you better remember that. You understand? Please remember that. These niggas don't love you. They just want to see a show. When the show over, they move on to the next act. You understand? We're gonna do something about that because Bad Boy gonna be back in a major way. Trust that. And I'm gonna make it happen. Figure that out. Now, anyway, like I was saying though, I ain't worried about none of y'all niggas that I used to work with at Bad Boy, except for a few people. You know what I'm saying? On the top of that list would be motherfucking Perez. That's my big brother. I love him. Ain't never gonna change. The second in command would be all my brothers that I've worked with on the street team and other endeavors that we did. I love all y'all big head ass motherfuckers, even the motherfuckers I wasn't that close with. You understand? But as y'all sit back and judge me or whatever, it'll become clear to you. And one day somebody had to keep this up. All our memories, everything that we did, all the work that we did, all the aspirations that we had, all the ambitions we have go out the drain. It's just like you wasted your whole youth. So if you got a problem with me talking about Bad Boy Entertainment, I'm gonna say it real quick. All our dreams, all our shit goes down the fucking drain. And we're left bragging about something that don't exist no more. And I ain't with that. You understand what I'm saying? Now I'll say to some of the people in the music industry to understand exactly what the fuck I'm saying, that have the means, that see me on here, your boy could use a couple dollars. You understand what I'm saying? To make a couple things happen for the top of the year. I ain't talking about dollars to buy some groceries, niggas. I'm talking about, open up a couple doors for myself. You understand what I'm saying? And if you're not allowing me to do that, you're letting me get older and older and older and older. Then now I got to depend on the white man. What is this about? Upliftment, or this is about fucking fake shit? Because now all you niggas are starting to look fake, like the niggas y'all call fake in the music industry. I think it's a cycle. Fake is fake, dog, and real is real. So you know what I'm saying? I just say that much. I ain't never had nobody in the 6 years I've been on here, and I have superstars in here. I ain't had nobody offer me a job. I ain't had nobody say, "Yo, come over here. I got a couple things like you could do with me." You know what I'm saying? Make you look $5,000, $6,000 right now. I need to make really like about with all my stuff I got to get done. Like I ain't even tell y'all that. I'll tell you anyway. Oh, I got to get a lot of stuff done with my old stuff. I know a lot of y'all been seeing me go back and forth to the dentist and everything like that. That shit cool, son. So I'm looking at something like 13, 14. I ain't looking towards black people to help me with shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about K, motherfucker. I ain't talking about 13, $1,400. I'm talking about 13, 14K for everything I need to get done or whatever, whatever. But we gonna get it done. I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about it at all. You know what I'm saying? We probably have to reach out to the other folks. You know what I mean? Which is a goddamn shame. But systematically now, I would just say this: black, because the person who wrote that comment is a black person. Black culture is evolving into a fascist, capitalist, tribalist culture, and I don't like it. And it's disgusting. It's like if you don't agree with us, we're gonna cut you off. See, I just lost three people because they don't want to hear that. But that's what it is. It's developing into a communist, fascist, tribalist culture that is bent on not even Christianity or anything like that. They're bent on what you call eclectic exotericism, esoteric thought process. Like, I don't know, like the moon and the stars and the quasars and my soul make me feel and all this crazy shit. That's, really that's the ways of the devil. Did you know that? Pixies and even the word eclectic comes from what was the people called? The Druids. Comes from them. It's not a very fascinating word. So when you're talking about, well, I'm a spiritualist, they come from the Druids and yeah, the Egyptians did spirituality, but they had deities. Your deities are plants and shit like that. That ain't, you know what I mean? And how you feel inside and all this shit. I don't know, man. But let me just finish this off real quick. To the person who wrote that comment or whatever, trying to discourage me from making any money or whatever, 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 you are beyond the best example who I can call the new slave ship crew. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, there's a whole bunch of these new slave ship crew type people that are online nowadays that their whole thing is stopping you from getting money. They want, if you don't agree with them, they want to go against you or whatever, whatever. Mind you, they're not going against none of the entities that really matter. These higher ends of the record companies, these higher ends on media that disgrace them every day. They're not going after Elon Musk, who daily has racist shit on his page. They're not going after any of these owners of any of these social media apps and demanding that they get more money or whatever, whatever. Basically, the whole shit is pussy. The only people they motherfucking intend to try to reprimand is people that look like them. And I'm trying to tell you, you keep fucking with me, I'm gonna shoot at you. I ain't playing with you. You understand what I'm saying? Because it stands to a point where you trying to stop people from getting money based on the fact that you don't like what they say just because they look like you. Fuck you. I put in work, bro. You know what I'm saying? Way more work than most of these people that stream on here do. And I don't think anybody would disagree with that. And I'm just talking to my audience on here. Make sure y'all double tap the screen, hit the like button if y'all feeling what I'm saying. If not, who cares? But you know what I'm saying? Like when I gotta switch the format, and I don't think people understand what I'm saying. When I can depend more on Google AdSense than I can depend on African Americans or Latinos for that matter, but Latinos donate to me more. But at that point, when I gotta do that, it's like, why the fuck would I advocate anything for y'all? That don't make sense. Can somebody make sense of that for me? And I say this to other content creators too. If you see that these motherfuckers won't support you or donate to you, if you a dude or whatever, whatever, stop doing stories for them. Stop advocating for them. Stop like, you know what I'm saying? Because what they telling you is they don't appreciate you. You know what I mean? Like they've been doing that to me for since day one. They don't like the fact that I'm cocky. They don't like the fact that I speak Spanish. They don't like that. I'm just wondering is like, are African Americans like the new KKK now? Like, just let me know. Are they the new white supremacists now? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because it seems like if you don't do what they want you to do or say what they want you to say, the black police show up. You can't say that, nigga. Fuck you. You understand what I'm saying? What you gonna do about it? going on out here. And I've seen this happen now at a couple other people's spots too. I've seen this happen in some girls' spots as well, where they're streaming or whatever, and they tell somebody hit the cash app or hit the like button, and somebody jumped out or whatever. They don't want to hit the like button because they don't want you to get out to more people. They don't want to hit your cash app because they don't want you to make any money as a man. You understand what I'm saying? So I would tell everybody that's on here, if you just now starting to stream, put your faith in Google AdSense. Don't put your faith into the people. The people now have become evil. And the thing is, they see more joy in watching you fall. They see more joy in you not making anything as a man. They see more joy in not donating to you and seeing you end your progress. This is where they see their joy. Their joy is in your despair. That is a demon. You understand what I'm saying? Whether they want to admit it or not. The people in Sodom and Gomorrah, they didn't think, let me tell you something. The people that were in Sodom and Gomorrah, they didn't think they were evil either. This is how this always goes. This is a repeating story. You just don't see it. People in Sodom and Gomorrah, they didn't think they were evil either. They thought they were good, standing up people, just having fun. Then God came down. He said, make sure you put lamb's blood on everybody's daughters to be, you know what I mean? And he said, Sarah and Lot, I want you to run away from the city or whatever, and never look back. Just like a woman, Sarah was the only one to look back, and Lot was left without a wife. Pay attention, man. The point is, God came down and destroyed that city, and nobody in that city thought anything was wrong. Y'all don't think anything is wrong, but you're being led by kids. Most of the women, even if they're 50, 60 years old online, sound like fucking 14-year-old teenagers. You can't even talk to them. So it becomes a point now where you got to be like, it's sad, man. I don't like to do that. I just don't like to do that. But I never thought in 2026 I would actually have to say some shit like that. Where I have to say, I don't give a fucking black people. I know, and I'm glad. And this is what I gotta say. I'm glad that I know now while I'm still young because I've seen so many. I watched Red Fox go through this. Red Fox, they auctioned off all his shit. Now, one black person came to save him. I watched Little Richard say, I lost my mansion because nobody would give me $3,000 to save it because I wasn't working at the time. I've watched numerous black stars throughout the edge of time sit around and talk about how nobody black helped them when they were losing something or something like that. And I said, well, maybe that contributes to their future losses because it seems like to me this clouds in the bucket mentality is that's wider than it's ever been now. No, we don't want nobody. Everybody got to be the same. That's somebody trying to form socialism. Where they say everybody's got to be the same. I don't want to live in a country like that. I really don't. Where black people are out here talking about everybody's got to be the same. White people out here, everybody's got to be the same. Everybody's beautiful. No, they're not. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's successful. Everybody's talented. No, they're not. And this is what this country is becoming. But when African Americans, with their afraid to so much fit in with Latin Americans, with their afraid so much to fit in and their eagerness to assimilate themselves to anything possible. I'll give you an example. The infatuation with white culture extends beyond just Japanese, Chinese, Indians. They have an infatuation with white culture. They have been born and raised, many of them, and tú sabes, la gente latino, they have been raised, and African Americans too, to worship white culture. I just lost 4 people when they jumped out of here, but I don't care. The thing is, you'll hear it in the octaves in their voice. You'll hear it when they try to simulate themselves to talk like somebody that's white or whatever, but it always falls on deaf ears. You know why? Because it's unnatural. It's unnatural to the people that's perceiving and hearing it. I can hear when Keisha is talking to me. I can hear when Maria is talking to me, and I can hear that fucking fake voice you're hiding behind. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I live in an area in a state. I'll just put it a state that's 37% Italian American. You can go look this up for yourself. I live in Connecticut. It's home of and I who lived not even Jesus Christ. I visited the house several times now. Her childhood home. Candace Owens is from here. So that gives you any inclination. Candace Owens is a perfect example of that. Candace Owens is not pretending that's her personality. That's Candace Owens' personality, and it's condensing of most girls that are like Candace Owens that live here in Connecticut. I've met a million girls that are like Candace Owens. Generally speaking, most girls that are educated out here, this is one of the most educated states in the United States, Connecticut. Go look it up. We're home to Yale University, UConn, House of Tonic, and several other institutions. Quinnipiac University is right in New Haven. You know, the Quinnipiac research that you always read happens right here in this state. So with that being said, I come from an educated state with educated people, or whatever. And the funny thing is, I find that blacks or Latinos, they don't put emphasis on people that are educated. They put emphasis on niggas that are dumb. You know what I'm saying? Little such and such did this. Or if you pay attention to the material they listen to, they're brainwashed at this point, and it's no coming back from it. So that's why I say with this country, I think it's I don't say the country's going to hell, but I will say this much: when it comes to Black Americans, I think they're going, and I think Latin Americans are going on a fail too. I'm like, there's no way you could be from Latin America, watch an American president go in and grab a Latin president and his wife, kidnap the bitch, and you're still walking around with your chest poked out. Bitch, don't you see it? That was a message to you. Don't get it fucked up, or we'll come get you too. And it just went straight over motherfuckers' heads. Like, no, what President Trump just said to Latin America is, don't get it fucked up, or we'll come get you, just like we came and got Maduro and his bitch. So usually they'll just take the man. When they went to go get Imelda Marcos over in Panama, because they that was the last people they did it to, and they were the leader of Panama. All right, same thing, always Blanco. So when they went to go get them, right? When they went to go get them, it was kind of like the same thing. This bitch had hundreds of pairs of shoes. It was crazy. But anybody remember that, you know what I'm talking about. That was the last time they did a thing like this. Anyway, long story short, when it comes to Black Americans, you're gonna dissolve very quickly, and most of it's going to happen because of the reluctantness of now your own women have been so assimilated that they believe white culture. This is the way. But really, they know nothing about white culture because they didn't grow up around white culture. They grew up around other people in urban environments. The same thing with Latinos. I can hear that shit from a mile away when you use that little fake personality. Like Latino, especially Latino men, they like to use this little fake, I'm nice, but really you're a motherfucker. And so they'll try to use that little voice or whatever, whatever. And I see right through it a million. Motherfucker, you're not talking to me because you want to speak to me. You're speaking to me because, motherfucker, you're trying to feel like you're superior. And I'm like, well, you got to prove that shit. Where'd you go to college? How much have you ever made a year? You understand what I'm saying? Have you drawn anything besides a fucking 2004 Jeep or a 2009 truck? Because that ain't impressing me, bitch. You understand what I'm saying? At the farthest need. So when I tell a lot of people or whatever, whatever, y'all know, y'all done see me on the channel here, Maseratis, Porsches, Lambos. I was on around that shit and moving in that shit when I was like, what, 21, 22, 23, 24 years old in Miami and every fucking where else. We would have been around those type of vehicles. I done stayed in the nicest hotel rooms, the W's, all that. I done shown y'all pictures and video. I ain't got to do that no more. I just did it again the day before yesterday. I wasn't trying to show off. I was just trying to prove a point. You can't impress me with no $5,000 vehicle, and I'd have been up and around 100,000 and up. That's your articulation of money, not mine. Let's be clear. That's your articulation of money, not mine. So that's where you fall into a brick wall too with a lot of these motherfuckers because they ain't got no ambition to have no more than the basic necessities. So that's when you get niggas that get a up around. You always know you're around the wrong niggas when you get a nigga that's riding around in a 2004 BMW and it's 2026 and he flexing. You know you in the wrong environment when you get a nigga that's moving around you and they staring out and peering out the motherfucking window and they pulling up into the high-rise projects in a $45,000, $60,000 vehicle, but they going to the third floor and they got to walk through piss to get to their apartment. You always know you in the wrong environment when a nigga always talking about prison tales and shit like that. But at the same time, this nigga ain't moved forward. In the past 6-7 years, he been talking about them prison tales. See what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't put too much emphasis when niggas is always trying to come in a nigga throat financially. And for a nigga to come into my chat room yesterday and be like, I spent what, $110 yesterday? That's my money. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't asked you for a back, bitch. I ain't even saying anything about a Cash App. You understand? Before a nigga to come in and try to navigate my page and your intentions were for other people to see that comment, so it would encourage them not to support my channel. I think you a real bitch ass nigga. And like I said, like you at the point now, dog, because that's the second time you did it. Like I really want to do something to you. You understand? I'm trying to stay calm. I'm trying to stay collected. You understand what I'm saying? But if you keep harassing me, dog, I'm gonna find out who you are, and I'm gonna show up at your kid's school or some shit like that. This is the wave at them. Ask to see if they there. You know what I'm saying? I might show up at your grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? See if she needs some help or something, taking out the trash. You know what I mean? Stop playing with me, dog. I'm different than what you. I'm not one of these new wave motherfuckers, nigga. For real, I sit there and wait. And if you need proof of it, you can go visit your local motherfucking diary and go look back at my record, nigga. It'll clearly explain type of shit I get into. Ain't gonna be no niggas, black niggas is out here now like bitches, dog. I like it, so many of these niggas been raised like bitches. They move like bitches. They play like bitches. This wasn't no chick saying that shit. This was the chick saying I would have did nothing. But this is dude running around talking like that. A dude. This ain't how men. And then black dudes is the first. I'm a real. I never compare masculinity to black men or Latin men because you're not the directive of it. You understand what I'm saying? The directive of masculinity is country is white folks. You don't believe me? Go to work later on today and act like a nigga and see how long you be there. I can't stand a black dude. Whatever. No, what you mean is a black nigga acts like. That ain't no man. That's your definition of a man, motherfucker. And really, it's your definition of a man. So you'll look like a man in front of white men. I don't do that. I cuss out white men. Y'all done seen me. We cuss out white men. We didn't jump white men on this channel. Y'all know who remembers I was at the mall. And this dude was at the mall. It was a funny shit. He was talking high level shit. And I was like, yo, dog, chill, man, for real. Like something gonna happen to you. Like he didn't believe me. I made one phone call and within 2 minutes, there was 3 niggas and he was just scared to death. We chased that nigga all the way through the mall and got the nigga arrested because he was out there calling me a nigga and shit. I said, yo, son, you call me out my name one more time, so I'm gonna do something to you. And he was dependent on the cameras. You see what I'm saying? So if I would have hit him, he knew that the cameras didn't have audio on them; they just had video on them. So it just would have showed me punch him in the face. You dig me? So you got to be careful even when you do shit to nigga. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Put that nigga in the trunk, drive 6 miles. You know? But I don't. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. But like I said, you know, it's just it's imperative, man, that we stop this bullshit, sissy shit with grown ass men hopping online talking about don't donate to this person. You a bitch. Your mama a bitch. Your family's a bunch of bitches. You was raised by a bitch. Your whole DNA is bitch like. You understand what I'm saying? And you ain't gotta donate a motherfucking dime to me, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? I'll keep your nigga pennies. I'm good. I'm good. That was the first part of independence. So let me finish this little rant because that's what it is. That was my first point of independence when I got my first little check last month from YouTube. I said, whoa, you mean I can make more money from these niggas than I can depend on these people? And I said, of course so. These are black and Latin people you're talking about. You can't depend on them. They only take care of millionaires and bitches. That's what people they take care of. You don't believe me, do you? Look on the history here online, and what you'll see is, I'll give you an example. And niggas gonna be mad I said his name, right? It's a nigga named Kwame Brown. How many of y'all know Kwame Brown? Y'all know Kwame Brown? All right. I couldn't figure out for the like of me. Kwame Brown is I'm gonna tell you how these people think. Kwame Brown is a multi-millionaire. All right, multi-millionaire. He owns several cars, whatever. Far from having any financial episodes happening for this man, right? And I will watch niggas over there donate to his cash app. And I said, y'all donate to multi-millionaires, but y'all won't donate to this. That's how they think. I'm trying to tell you, they think backwards, dog. That's why I don't even ask them for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Because these people, they donate for clout. They donate for clout, my dog. They donate for clout. They feel like if I donate to a multi-millionaire, it'll make me look better and it'll give me. I watched Antoine Daniels. He donated $500 to a traveling performing comedian. $500. He ain't donate the $500 because he believed in what you said, nigga. He donated the $500 because he wanted to put you in his pocket. That's why he donated $500 to you. You know what I'm saying? Well, later on, if I want to talk to him, you know what I'm saying? I saw the other nigga, O'Shea Duke Jackson. He do the same thing. These niggas all operate under one system. Let me tell you what they do. All the big. This is why I never strive to be a big, huge connection within that black circle. The black circle does something different than the white circle of big content creators. The white circle of big content creators creates pathways and margins for other people or whatever, whatever. And they don't see people out as just people that they agree with or whatever, or age basis or any of that shit. They just move around and they get other white people and bring them up. Where the same parameters are evolved when you're dealing with blacks and Latinos. Oh, they have these failed scale systems and who they feel is important, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? I get less like to give a shit because half of the shit they talking about is bullshit. They ain't talking about no real movies. They just want to sit around and have these little cute, articulate conversations like a bunch of decadent fucking weirdos and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's so wannabe. Like I said, I live in a state that's 37% Italian American. The other half of it is Greek. And if you live down on the other side of Connecticut, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. We don't never be around nothing but Italians and Greeks. We go to Italian restaurants, Greek restaurants. I got friends like Papadonasio, Vaco, Perdel. This is all I know. You know what I'm saying? I ate Greek pizza for years. You know what I mean? At one particular restaurant with a whole entire family that was a Greek family that to this day are still friends. R.I.P. Charlie. You understand? Like you don't know what you're talking about. And anybody that's lived there in Connecticut, well, I saw Queen's Flip not too long ago. He went up there to Boston, and it was the same story, wasn't it, Queen's Flip? Huh? Italians and Irish and Greeks. So once you get past New Haven, no, not even New Haven. Once you get past here, Norwalk, all those places right there, that's all you run into is Italians and Greeks, not Latinos. Not Latinos. Italians and Greeks. That's all we've ever been around our whole entire life. So for me, like, I don't know. When I hear niggas from like Ohio and shit jumping, they don't have any idea what I'm talking about. And it's fucking like, I don't know how to explain it. It's fucking nerve-wracking. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up like you, dude. I don't identify with a lot of shit you've grown up. And within black culture, there's like this thing where if you, especially now, they're trying to do this whole FBA separatist shit. I don't know where you're going to get with that. Like, I wouldn't follow no nigga that said, yo, we need to deduce our numbers on a little bit of numbers that we got now. I ain't following no nigga like that. For real. We need to deduce our numbers further from the few numbers that we got. What kind of dumbass nigga tell you some shit like that? It ain't Malcolm. It ain't Martin. I'll tell you that much. It ain't Farrakhan. Because he ain't telling you that. Farrakhan been telling you for years. They was about to give Muammar Gaddafi before they killed him. He was about to put Farrakhan on to the gold exchange, which many of y'all know. Dude, you are real solid, man. You say what you want and what you mean. I'm broke as fuck. I'd rather give money to you. No, it's all right, Gary. It's all right. I don't need that. I'm just pointing out the examples of what I see people do. I see black people donate to millionaires. I've seen people over there. I love academics. I've seen people over there donating to DJ Academics. I was like, DJ Academics is a multimillionaire. They're not donating to him because of any other sincere reason. They're donating to him because of clout chasing. They want to be recognized. Over here, they can't get easily recognized because I have people that donate to me and it's only like 10 of them. I got 30,000 followers. And this is not a unique story. There's other content creators that will say the same thing. They'll be like, black people don't. I just ran into a girl that said the same thing. She said, because of the things I say, black Americans don't want to donate to me. And I could take you to her page and show you her. You understand what I'm saying? There's like this little mini communist right, socialist, fascist right that's really coming, honestly and truthfully, from the girls because the girls are collegiate. So they know exactly what I'm talking about. The ideal system is con- condescendant with collegiate order. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of these girls, they know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, and they've helped put some of these ideas out there. If you listen to some of these girls on these podcasts and when they're talking, a lot of the ideas that they're talking about are from a collegiate point of view, but at the same time, they're from a communist skew. They're from a fascist skew. And I don't even think many times that many of these women understand this. A lot of the time, a lot of the, how can I say it? A lot of the particular things that are within feminism, believe it or not, are under socialist ideals. A lot of it's under fascist ideals as well. So I won't say as much as communism, but definitely socialism. And I would even go as far as to say socialism is one of the backbones of feminism. I would definitely say that. And you know who else was a socialist? Hitler. So was Mussolini. They was both socialists too. You understand what I'm saying? And if you watch very closely, they almost operate like that. You know what I'm saying? But never mind that stuff. That's silly stuff. I'm just saying here, I just don't get off where people literally tell other people of color keep that person down. I said that sounds like to me like almost like a white supremacist or something like that. Like you support white supremacists. And I think we need to start asking questions about people like that are spreading that type of message. What type of person are you if you're telling people don't donate to support other men, but these men look like your mother and father? I work on here just as much as the women do. You know what I'm saying? If not more, these chicks are sitting in their bedroom. I'm actually went to the courthouse yesterday, so and it was the same thing with the Diddy thing or whatever, whatever. I don't care no more. Like I said, if I were you guys, especially if you're up and coming vlogger, put more emphasis on getting what's the name with assets, unless you're going to be one of these people, or unless you're going to be one of these people. This is a problem with a lot of the vloggers, and why I'm putting this out there. A lot of the black and Latin vloggers feel pressured, and I know you do. You feel pressured to say what these people want you to say. You feel pressured to jump in on conversations that have regularly nothing to do with you. You feel pressured to have a certain type of an opinion or an angle or whatever, whatever, because you know if you don't, these people are not going to donate a dime to you. And I'm telling you, the way that you get around all that and the way you get to do what you want to do is go to Google AdSense. Stop depending on these people. Most of these people, they don't want to donate to you for one or three reasons. One, they ain't got the money in the first place to donate to you. That's the biggest reason. Second reason is most of them don't want to donate to you because they're suffering, so they want you to suffer. Most of the people that are here online are people that are suffering. That's why they're here with you. If they're not vlogging, if they're not trying to make some money, most of the people that are here are suffering. Yes, they are. They're suffering internally, mentally, however you want to put it. They're suffering. And so what they do is they bring their suffrage. I'm talking about clearly the subscribers. They bring their suffrage online with them. So however they felt that day, they felt down about themselves or however they felt or whatever, they come in and they bring that energy with them. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they'll troll you. That's why they'll sit up in your chat room and write crazy shit. This is why they'll sit around or whatever. And I told you, we need to start looking at the anatomy and the psychology of a troll in the first place. Ain't no reason a grown ass nigga should be sitting in his bedroom at 1 o'clock in the afternoon talking about hiffle whiffle whiffle do. I've got something for you. And typing and shit like you 14 fucking years old. That's a nigga with a growth problem. You got a development problem. That's all you doing. You understand? So yeah, man, we don't take too many people hard lightly that do sucker shit like that or whatever, whatever, writing comments, hoping that the rest of the crowd will see it. Nigga, if you don't want to donate, don't donate. We're cool. But what I'm telling people is if you are a creator and you're starting to create, do not put your emphasis. I'm telling you, for somebody that's been doing this for 6 years, got over 30K, still grinding, do not put your emphasis into people of color donating to you. They're not. You either have to be a woman and you have to be a certain type of woman. You have to be one of them women that's always gossiping, one of them women that's always yelling, one of those women that's always got the tea, one of those women that's always got the gossip. Now, when I was growing up, My grandmother and aunts and whatever, they would avoid women like this. Now these women have become normalized because even back then they wasn't shit. You understand what I'm saying? Some of these bitches, if they were talking the way they were talking now, 15 years ago, the whole neighborhood would be beating their ass. In some cases, these are the bitches that used to get their ass whooped by the neighborhood. Oh shit, I can do this online now. You know what I mean? It's okay now. Get me? So you gotta take that in retrospect and keep it in perspective that a lot of these people here are hateful people, man. They're not happy in their life. They ain't never really done nothing in their life. For many of these people, being on social media and having somebody say something to them is the first recognition they've ever had in their whole entire fucking life. It ain't mine. I've been seen by motherfuckers and been around superstars since I was 20, going on 21 years old. So what you hold dear to you and what I hold dear to me ain't that. I'm still around stars to this day, dog. Y'all seen that in the videos be up here on the page. Designer, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fredro Star. Shout out to Rock Nation family. All of them that I was just with not too long ago, which y'all can see the video up on here. But it's less than that, man. It's more so what type of nigga, and I got this raise a question, what type of nigga is that they hop online and tell nigga, when did y'all start that shit? That's some sucker shit. I'm that serious, son. Like, listen, anybody ever been on a block? We would have killed the nigga for some shit like that. Like, if you would have told niggas, like we was down at the end of the block and you was at the top of the block and you told niggas, yo, son, and niggas naturally is like custies and they coming through and they like, yo, don't fuck with that nigga down there. I got the real shit. And you do that more than like 2 or 3 times, we got to go do something to that nigga. That's what my crew would do. I don't know about your crew. My crew would pick up a bat, pistol, something like that. We go see you. That didn't happen too much because people were fearful of us. Very fearful. That's why I be laughing at some of this shit. I be like, yo, son, niggas feared us. Like, we made the papers, my nigga. Several members. You know what I mean? Front page. I was one in the front page. I was in the front page. I had $250,000 bond. You think I'm lying? Go look it up. Go see for yourself. This is public knowledge. So when I look at these niggas, man, and I be like, yo, who you talking to? Who you telling not to get some money? I always equated to shit like that. You basically the nigga at the top of the block telling niggas, don't fuck with them niggas down at the end of the block, nigga. All right, somebody gotta get shot. I'm a firm believer after I've tried to talk to you for 3 or 4 times, because see, you don't know me. So I'm a firm believer. I try to talk to you for 3 or 4 times, and you still keep doing the same thing, because that person has been here more than once. And I block them and they make a new fuck. Somebody got dropped, son. Something got happened. At this point, something got happened to you, because now you testing me. You thinking I'm pussy. And I'm here to let you know for real, son. Stop playing with me like that, because I already know where to pinpoint you at now. See, before I ain't know where you was at. I found you on another app because you was using the same shit. See, you know you fucked up, right? You was using the same name on another app and had your. But I always get them like that. They be like, ha ha, he. I say, all right, I got you. That's your screen name, and they'll use the same screen name across like 4 different platforms, so it's easy to catch the niggas. So I went there, nigga. You had everything up there. You had a picture of your kids. Yeah, motherfucker dropped off. You was probably here right now, you bitch. You had a picture of your kids and shit. You got some cute kids. I had that little bitch. I don't know if she your girl or whatever, whatever, whatever. The living room, them the little living room pictures y'all got doing this past Christmas. Y'all had a white Christmas tree. See how easy that was to find you, nigga? You know what I'm saying? One of the pictures where you really fucked up was you took a picture outside. I think it was during the summertime. You had a little pool outside. And you got the back of the car with the motherfucking license plate. How dumb are you? You ain't the best troll in the world, are you? Stupid motherfuckers. So this shit like that, I ain't gonna do nothing to him. Don't worry about it. I ain't gonna do nothing to him. Now, if his tire pop out on the highway and he pulls over a bridge, I don't know what the fuck. You know, accidents happen. But me personally, I ain't gonna do nothing to him. Honest injury, you got my word. But I don't understand people like that. I don't understand the mentality of people like that, going to people's pages and telling people, yo, we're gonna financially sabotage people that look like us. We're gonna delineate ourselves because this is a great idea here in the time where you almost damn near the lowest population outside of Asians in this country. Black population is supposed to be something like 22% or something like that. It's at 14 because these bitches keep running to the abortion clinic. They use abortion as birth control. You don't believe me? Go look up the numbers. In 3 years in a row, There were more abortions in New York City than there were black babies being born. You don't believe me? Go look up the demographics. I ain't make that shit up. Mediocre tutorials and reviews. He covered it. Umar Johnson, he covered it at one time or another, I believe. So I'm not making these demographics up. Go look them up for yourself. I first reported them back in 2000, I think it was 19. That was the first time we had seen it, but I'm sure it happened prior to that. Go look up the demographics. You'll find it for yourself. See, if you ignore demographics, at that point, it just makes you look stupid. So I let them go ahead and do it. All right, go ahead and do the demographics. Nobody cares. That's the other argument you'll always get into when you engage with African Americans. They'll try to raise you up one or what about this? What about it? You know, so yeah, I ain't gonna win with them or whatever. So I'll just try to tell you, number one, when I get back on, please don't ask me for shit. Fuck the world. Don't ask me for shit. I'm not giving you shit. The kid's sick. Fuck them. We need money for food. Fuck them. We need water. Fuck them. We need shelter right now. What about those places you were going to build? Fuck them. That's my new mentality for 2026. Fuck them. Because when you try to help a group of people and they keep saying, nah, we don't want you to do it, yeah, eventually you got to say, fuck them, dog. And I'm not part of that. Right? Yeah, it's too much now at this point. Yeah, fuck them. You know what I mean? That's my mentality now. For real, Biggie Smalls method, man. Fuck the world. Don't ask me for shit. I'll tell you the same thing. Just get out there and work hard for it. You'll get it. Good luck. Good luck to you, you know? So that's what I wanted to explain right there. I'm sorry I got a little long-winded at the end or whatever, but I'm like, yo, I spent $110 yesterday, nigga, and I ain't asked for none of that money back. I ain't asked a nigga to donate to me or nothing. I just had my shit up on the screen. I don't even think I had my Cash App on the screen when I was doing that, which bugs me out even more. I had to go back and look at the live, but I'm pretty sure I didn't even write my Cash App on the screen doing that live yesterday. So that's what bothered me even more. I was like, well, what? The fucking Cash App ain't even on there. I ain't even mentioned it. So why are you over here monitoring my channel talking about what I can say? I said, that's a motherfucker that's a communist. That's what communists do. You can't say that. You can't ask for Cash Apps from the black people. I'm like, well, the fuck am I associating myself with you motherfuckers for? You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make any sense to you? Like, why would I continue to let me just ask this for real quick before I get out of here. Why would I continue to speak up for people, represent people that have shown you time and 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 time again, we don't identify with you because you half of them. Sooner or later, you gotta be like, yo, fuck these niggas, bro. These niggas is like rambunctious, racist, they're gonna lose in the end. You don't even realize it. We delineating ourselves. Delineating yourself, you stupid motherfucker. Brazil got the highest black population outside of America and Africa. So what you gonna do? You gonna let all of them go? You ain't got no allies because you making sure you delineate your allies. That's why I said this FBA shit sound like some CIA op to me. What kind of black leader run around talking about you need to separate yourself from black people because they claim your music. Music, the white people control the music. You don't even control the fucking music. So how you talking about somebody claiming something you don't even fucking control? You sound idiotic. The white people own the broadcasting companies. You don't hear BET right now putting in the bid to buy motherfucking Warner Brothers, do you? You don't hear no black conglomerates, not one of them putting in the bid to buy Paramount right now, including 50 Cent. Excuse me, Warner Brothers, including 50 Cent. So, and I say that respectfully. But these niggas are not prepared to play the game like it's really played. But y'all sitting out here trying to tell me, well, we're going to delineate. We need fewer numbers and we need to stand tall and proud. That pride shit is a sin. Let me turn this camera on one time and tell you again. Pride is a sin in the Bible. But I know a lot of y'all are atheists now. I know a lot of you don't believe in God. I know a lot of you are demonic now. I know a lot of you are vengeful now. I know a lot of you are prideful now for reasons that really are unwarranted. And with all that, you got to understand something. When you take on the tenets of all those things that I just mentioned, it's a strange way God got to deal with that shit. It's a strange way. And each one of those sins I just mentioned, there's a realm in hell for each last one of them. I encourage a lot of y'all to read Dante's Inferno or the Divine Comedy. You understand this very quickly. Dante found his father in hell in the realm of greed, bathing in gold, hot gold. King Midas, everything he touched turned to gold. And he thought that was the greatest gift he had ever gotten. So the food he was grabbing also started turning into gold. Yeah, man. You're always gonna have a problem with people that have pride, fake morality, or whatever. Happened with the Greeks, happened with the Romans, happened with Jews at one point. Now, at one point, the Italians used to put the Jews in the area they called the ghetto in Italy, right near where the Vatican sits at now. That's where the word ghetto comes from. It actually comes from the quadrant where they used to house those that they felt were the despicable of the culture. They would house the Jews and they would put them in there. They would call this area the ghetto. Not too far from the Vatican. Don't believe me? Go Google it. Y'all good at Googling and shit, right? So I hear black people online talking about we're gonna delineate ourselves. I'm just like, all right, cool. And when the war got to popping, who gonna fight for y'all? You're gonna be taken out just like that because you don't have any allies. And I said, well, maybe you should read the Art of War or maybe the 48 Degrees of Power, whatever. It's one thing if you're talking about you delineating and all this shit, and you got the numbers. You don't have the numbers. This is a bad general that's commanding y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Like a bad football coach. This is a bad general leading y'all. Go look at your numbers. Go look at the other population numbers. Go look at what your assets are right now. Do you own any tanks? Do you own any guns? How many people know how to shoot and kill effectively? How many of those people that know how to shoot and kill going to be on your team? Because these niggas, they come to shoot and kill. I'll give you a prime example. There's a group down in Ohio that is fully prepared. They have demonstrated this. They ran the Klan up out of there. Shout out to the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. They ran people out of there. Shout out to those ex-Marines that are down there in Georgia. They ran people up out of there. See, those are the small clusters, and you'll find you almost be calling it the rebels. It's almost like it's almost like Star Wars, the Imperials. Peace, God, how you doing? I'm all right. So I just say that, man. I don't even like to use we because these people are against me. They don't like me. But I will say this. Yo soy el cubano, siempre presentado. Yo siempre por la toda vida, yo soy el cubano, ya negro, americano. Tú sabes, claro que sí. But at this point, I just, yeah, you can't, if you want somebody to join your tribe, you got to give them a convincing reason why to join your tribe. If you keep trying to show somebody that, yo, listen, it ain't, we don't want you over here at this tribe, that you just do another number. President Kennedy already told you that this so-called government destroyed our land and hijacked the true people of this land. He also told the word America refers to you and you only. I don't know if I believe in all that, but I get what you're saying. You got a good notion there. But it's like I believe more in America than I believe in Black Americans at this point. Black Americans do nothing but tear each other down online every day, and they're the most separatist motherfuckers in the country right now. You can't sit down and have an idea with these motherfuckers unless it's a collective idea and everybody agrees on it, like we in some part of some fucking tribal nation or some shit. And we passing around the traditional skull or some shit like that. You know what I mean? I ain't with all that shit. I'm not trading one massa for another massa, if that makes any sense to you, bro. I don't care. I don't even represent it. I don't care. Like that's the point I'm at now. Like let me give you an example. I took in the past 6 years on this channel, I have taken people everywhere. Just listen to what I'm saying. I've taken people to where Malcolm X was shot and killed at the Adelman Ballroom. I also had a tour guide that was part of Malcolm's family. I've taken people to, what was it called? Something Village. I forgot what the hell that shit's called, but whatever village. It'll come to my mind in a minute. I took them there. That was where one of the first Black and Irish settlements were. in New York City. They bought it in eminent domain, gave them a whole tour, showed them everything that was there, whatever. Now, one person donated to me. I took these motherfuckers during Black History Month. I took them to a full exhibition of the black and the white exhibition that was there. Read things to them, everything like that. The motherfuckers wouldn't donate $5 to me to get a cup of coffee. Now, if you're a bitch and you hop online, and a bitch, I use that very sparingly. I mean, man or women. If you're one of these bitch niggas and you hop on YouTube and you say, I got the latest gossip. Ooh, Lord, Lord, child. Lord, I got the tea. I got the tea. And you talk like a slave that was just freed or just found out that the Emancipation Proclamation, that's what fuels these motherfuckers now. So I don't expect none of these black niggas to donate nothing to me. Nah, they don't like nobody that tells the truth. They like niggas is lying, hoopering and hollering, drama and trauma. I've seen bitches up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning doing lives talking about one woman, right? And what they'll do is they'll end up turning around and they'll get donations for talking about somebody. I saw a woman that was out of the country. She was literally sitting on live for 5 months talking about one woman. And these motherfuckers would just donate. I'm like, you donating to a woman that lives in another country. So they were looking at for people. So yeah, there is no solidarity when it comes to that whole black shit. Now I'm just tired of people sitting around pretending like it is. Like, you ain't gotta pretend for a nigga. You understand what I'm saying? I'm good, nigga. I got a pistol. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't need your help. You know what I mean? Fuck y'all. To be honest with you, that's the point I'm at for 2026. Fuck y'all. Cause it's like, yo, niggas are not beneficial to me. Google is. You know what I mean? That's where the money at. Have I gone 25 point? Nah, I ain't going 25 point. I'm just telling you, like, I'm not against you, but I'm not with you. Put it that way. I'm not against you, but I'm not with you. Meaning, like, I show you the same amount of love you showed me, and it's none. So I'm not showing you any back. Whether you keep hugging a nigga and the nigga stabbing you, like, come on, nigga, you don't do that. Every time you walk up, get a nigga hug, nigga poking you. What kind of sense does that make? You know what I'm saying? I don't know where y'all live at, but I live in the New York City tri-state. We don't do shit like that. Nigga keep poking you, back off of them niggas. Like, all right, cool. Y'all let me know y'all want me around here. Y'all sure, right? Y'all cool? All right. You just walk off. So as far as like getting how you say, because I see that's the topic of interest in doing this live now. It's become, and I'm about to end this in a minute, but instead of sitting around and pretending like niggas is together or whatever, just call it for what it is. Like, I'd rather nigga come out and be like, yo, nigga, I don't fuck with niggas like that, whatever. That's how niggas used to be. Like, yo, nigga Pop Smoke, I miss that nigga. That nigga say, I don't fuck with niggas, I don't hang with niggas, I don't like niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, that's just what it is. Salud, panapay. Entonces, sabe, esta la Moreno, la Panamá, dice, entonces, sabe, esta cabrona dice, sabe español, tú sabes, la Panamá. So I don't have time for that, dog. I don't have time for niggas be sitting around crying and talking about this that, and the other thing. That niggas cry too much for me, dog. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'd rather just sit back and watch these niggas get destroyed at this point from a high point. You know what I'm saying? That's what I need to plot on, because I see this whole thing happening. These niggas are gonna get destroyed, dog. Trust me. And no solidarity. The kids are out of line. The women are so rambunctious that you don't even want to fuck one of these bitches no more, because it's gonna be an argument. Um, it's just to the point now where it's just like, man, who cares? And sooner or later, more and more people will start getting that same sentiment and see what I'm talking about. So if you ask me, Kelly Bay, I think that's what your name is, do I give a fuck with black people in general think anymore as a 2026? Fuck no. It's not beneficial in it. You know what I mean? That's the way I gotta get it. Question here as far as what you were asking me, but nah, I don't give a fuck about that. You shouldn't either. It's fake. You're giving podcast tonight. You go to any given podcast tonight that's Black American, or even right now, and I guarantee you they're not going to be talking about anybody white. They're going to be talking about somebody that's black. It's going to either be a black dude or black female. They will never touch the antithesis of talking about anybody white, anything anybody white has done bad, or whatever the case may be. So, and you start seeing this pattern, you'll be like, oh, this is a pattern of things. I'm seeing this now. They're only focused on people that are African American and tearing them down, or they only equate ripping apart the music industry with niggas that are hired by white niggas. And they're like, the white niggas are all right and they stand up and they good, but the black niggas in the music industry is the most terrible. They the reason for all this. And I'm like, this sounds like some white supremacy shit to me. It sounds like some white supremacist soldiers. That's why I said I think that old FBA shit is Federal Bureau of African Americans. You see what I'm saying? I really think it's like a psych op. I think it's the delineation part was a definite sight to me. Like, listen, man, I come from the Muslims nation. I done took you to these places. You know what I'm saying? I done took you out of Allah School of Mecca. You see niggas know me. I done took you to the Muslim brothers that they were feeding black people on the streets right on 125th and stopping people from digging in the trash can, grabbing food, and getting some of the sisters over there. You notice I said sisters, right? You very rarely hear me say that. They was over there giving some of the sisters, and I put some of the sisters on camera to show them feeding the people in the community. You know what I'm saying? And this was at the time when they had the little food stamp crisis thing going on. So I showed y'all examples. I showed y'all examples of another woman I know on 125th Street that was right in the camera, and y'all saw her husband, and they were feeding people. They used the resources they had. They made thick, chunky, fucking chicken soup for everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? Whoever wanted the cup, come up and get a cup or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about they was handing out shit like you get at the store. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like it was some little small shit. And it's amazing, man, that with all that said, you don't see no rappers giving them no money. You don't see no entertainment motherfuckers coming down on 125th Street giving no money. You know what I'm saying? I just watched Tracks NYC the other day go with him and another white boy and go into Times Square and hand out $30,000. Y'all might also see these videos that be floating around. This is the biggest culprit right here. How many of y'all seen these videos floating around where you get these white dudes and they go out and they hand out tents and they give cash money and they get hotel rooms for homeless black people? You ain't never seen one rapper do shit like that. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. I watched 3 years ago a black woman that was a business owner out of Chicago take her own money and put up black people and white people in hotel rooms for a full 2 weeks because it was so cold outside. So see, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, niggas are so integrated into trying to be part of what's media or whatever, via these free apps that they don't even realize what's going on around them. And that's why they'll succumb to the elements in the next 10 to 15 years. In the next 10 to 15 years, there's so many few black women that even want to have a baby, so few of them that even know the prerequisites of even attracting a man. You know, most black women, they walk past you, they think it's attractive to just look down at their phone and walk past you and hope that you'll stop them and speak to them. And when you stop and speak to them, they not necessarily don't even want you to date them. They might want you to stop them just so they get the attention. Attention is more valuable to some of these hoes than motherfucking actual relationship nowadays. So you got to contend with that too. So if you got a whole generation of hoes that's sitting around talking about, we don't like men, I hate men, and I yay for Jay, and you know what I'm saying? You basically got a whole batch of lesbians that were built and cultivated for nothing else than carpet munching. I mean, basically. None of you guys ever realized that most of these bitches that are sitting around, they talking about, I hate men, I don't like men. Bitch, if you're sitting around so much you hate men and you don't like men, chances are you're a lesbian. Never have that conversation. These bitches are lesbians that y'all trying to date. Most of these girls that be on the pop the balloon challenge or whatever, like these bitches are into girls. They don't even like guys. And that's going to be your problem when you come into procreation. I'm trying to tell you, but I ain't giving too much, man. I ain't giving too much. Yeah, we done did that ride before. All right. This served its purpose. I hope everybody was entertained. Thank you for the 15 likes out of the hundreds of people that have been in here. Shout out to the people. It's hilarious. But yeah, Black American people, I don't hate y'all. Delineate, do whatever the fuck y'all want to. Y'all gonna be a thing of the past in 15, 20 years, man, because your own bitches don't even want to procreate with you. You understand what I'm saying? You worried about me. Your own bitches don't. Let's just say it again. Your own bitches don't want to procreate with you. They rather have another man, but the same bitches will sit around and complain if you go get another mate as a man. You know what I mean? So, like I said again, I just want to make sure I do that. For all new creators, the game has changed. Don't worry about who like you and who don't like you. Look at these niggas as customers, dog. That's all they are. They customers. The majority of them. 80% of the motherfuckers that come view you are customers. You understand what I'm saying? And just let their view and everything go on the segue and whatever. Collect your dimes from motherfucking Google AdSense. Quit trying to collect your dimes with these Black American people, Latin American urban people, whatever. The money's not there. They donate to women. They donate to people that are already rich, and the chances are of getting clout chased and things like that. And they donate to surprisingly enough, men from the LGBTQ community because they a lot of times carry on the messages of these same black women. You understand what I'm saying? So those are the people, those are the three people in black culture they're gonna get donated to. Multimillionaires, LGBTQ men, and women. Yeah, as a black man, they hate you. So I would stop unless you a brown nosing simp. I would stop unless you're going to be a brown nosing simp or some nigga that stands up for all women's rights and shit like that. It's best to not even start. I would tell you if I had to start over tomorrow, I wouldn't even do any type of urban blogging. I wouldn't even talk about it because I don't want to be put up into how can I say it? I don't want to be put up into the chain of that gossiping and let's tear this person down and you know what I mean? Like it's just the same thing every day, and people are donating money to this. So that lets you know the people that are donating money to it ain't shit either.